Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if neglected Naruto mentally broken. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content, and do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. I would never have thought of myself ever being a broken soul. I was always strong. I always resisted the anger and hatred those people threw at me. I was always trying my hardest to be better, to improve, and most importantly to prove my worth. More than anything though, I always tried my hardest to protect them no matter how they treated me in return. But as with all things, time will take its toll on the strongest mountain or building. Sakura, a girl I thought I loved. She meant everything to me and I would have died to protect her. Hell, I even came close to dying a few times to save her life. I beat Haku, something her precious Uchiha couldn't do. I protected her and the Uchiha bastard from that snake freak when that Uchiha bastard was too afraid to fight back. I saved her from Gaara after Sasuke failed to save her. I got a hand put through my chest by that Uchiha bastard when I was trying to bring him back for her, just to make her happy. And not one time did she ever say thank you, not one time did she spare me a second glance. Kakashi-sensei, a man I thought would teach me and treat me fairly. I respected him. He is an amazing ninja even still. He taught that Uchiha bastard anything that he wanted to know whenever he asked. He gave the Uchiha bastard a taijutsu style that he had never once worked a day in his life to learn. He taught the Uchiha bastard an assassination technique that was later used in an attempt to kill me. I asked him many times to teach me something, anything that would help to become better. He did teach me something though. He taught me that there is no such thing as unbiased. The Uchiha bastard, I won't even call him by his first name, to me he is no better than his older brother, that is his only ambition is to kill. I once thought so highly of him. I aspired to become better than him, or at the very least become his equal. Every time I did something that he could not, he scoffed at me and called me dead last. Every time I surpassed him, he hated me for it instead of congratulating me for it. And even now, when he has betrayed us all, it is still him, the last of the oh so precious Uchiha, that is still receiving praise from the village. Why must these people who are so important to me continually disappoint me? Why must all of these awful things continue to befall me? So finally I turn to the one thing that is mine and mine alone to control, my own fate. Kyuubi! Naruto yelled at the top of his lungs as he walked confidently toward the cell that imprisoned the demon. Kyuubi, what do you want, brat? Asked the clearly annoyed fox demon. You know about my situation? You've seen everything though my eyes? He asked. Yes, what of it? What do you want from me? What you change about it? Can it be changed? Asked Naruto angrily. First, I would not be imprisoned in here, said the Kyuubi angrily. Well, that's not an option, so tell me, what can I do to change it? Demanded Naruto. Interesting, said Kyuubi pacing before his cage. First, I would have embarrassed that Uchiha bastard at every occasion possible from the first moment you met. If he wishes to hate you, hate him back, it has always worked for me. Second, I would have found a teacher if the one assigned was unwilling to teach you. Third, I would have dropped that useless female and sought out one that would bear you strong pups. Fourth, I would have never stooped to pranking those pesky villagers. They are a waste of time and the attention they give you is not the attention you want. Fifth, I would actually spend time reading and expanding more than just my jutsu library. Sixth, I would demand access to your father's jutsu and title. Seventh, I would take advantage of the 7,000-year-old demon sealed inside of me for more than just the occasional chakra boost. Eighth, I would find my own taijutsu style unique to my build. Ninth, I would find a weapon that works for me beyond the common kunai and shuriken. 10th, I would never be caught dead wearing such bright colors. Naruto considered Kyuubi's thoughts for a moment. First, there is nothing I can do about the Uchiha bastard now that he's gone. Second, I've got Erosenin now. Third, is there such a female in this village? Fourth, I haven't pranked the village since I became a genin and I don't care about their attention anymore now that I've got Tsunade Nekken, Shizu-Nekken, Erosenin, and Iruka-sensei. Fifth, what should I read? Sixth, who the hell was my father? Seventh, why would you want to help me? Eighth, who could teach me? Ninth, why? 10th, you brightly colored and stick out like a sore thumb. Who are you to criticize me on my appearance? Kyuubi smiled, or at least it looked like a smile. I have something in mind, but let me answer your questions first. Erosenin was not here for you in your youth when you need someone to start teaching you. There are many such females, you just have to find one or two. You should read books on strategy, mathematics, history, negotiation, and psychology. You should ask the third who your father was. If I were to help you, I would want something in return. That freak Mato guy knows hundreds of taijutsu styles. Weapons are like personalities. They each tell you something about the user and many times act as an extension of that person's body. Take my tails for example. I use them like whips to draw in my enemies before my claws shred their bodies to pieces. The reason I can be brightly colored and you can't is because I'm big enough and strong enough to kick the ass of any challenger I might come across. I can't change the past, but I can use that information for the future, said Naruto. Thanks letting me use your 7,000 years of experience, you dumb bastard. Who says you can't change the past? Asked Kyuubi with a chuckle. What are you talking about? Asked Naruto. If, and this is a big if, I were to give you a way to travel back in time to relive parts of your life, what would you give to me in return? asked Kyubi. What do you want exactly? What I want is freedom, but you'll not grant me that. So instead I will settle for a bit of change of scenery. 1. This place is a filth hole not worthy of one like me, so I want you to change it. 2. I want a window to the outside world so that I can see what you see. Think of it like a big TV connected to your eyes. 3. If that Uchiha bastard tries to flee again, I want you to kill him. But most importantly, the Akatsuki wishes to possess me for whatever reason. This is simply unacceptable. So part of this deal includes the extermination of all their members. Any questions? How do I clean this place up and how do I give you a window? Asked Naruto. Naruto had already decided that if he went back in time he would kill Sasuke if the opportunity ever arose, along with exterminating the Akatsuki, so that was no big deal for him. Creating a window just requires you add a second seal to the gate, and I can tell you how, but it won't do any good until you've actually gone back in time. To clean this place you need to get yourself into a healthier state of mind. The last few months this place has brightened up with the acceptance of that big-breasted woman and that super pervert. This means we need you to focus on people who are going to acknowledge you and ignore those who don't. So, do we have a deal? Asked Kyubi. Will it hurt? Asked Naruto. Me, not in the slightest. You, more pain than you've ever imagined possible, said Kyubi with a light laugh. How fun, said Naruto sarcastically. So, how far back will you send me? How old were you when you entered the academy? 6, said Naruto. Then 6 is where we'll go back to, said Kyubi. I'm sure you could pass the Genin exam on your arrival to the academy. But don't. Excel in your classes and embarrass the Uchiha bastard, but don't even think about taking the exam until I say it is okay. Now, do we have a deal? Deal? Show me what to do, said Naruto. Break. Kyubi, you really are a sadistic bastard, said Naruto as he woke up after completing the ceremony. Naruto hoped that everything had worked out like it was supposed to, and that was 6 again. Naruto stood up and checked himself over in the mirror. He was definitely short again, well, shorter anyway. He checked his closets and saw no sign of his infamous orange jumpsuit, which he didn't purchase until he was in his 3rd year at the academy. Next he checked the calendar, and there circled in red was the note for him to start the academy that day. Well, the fox got it right after all, said Naruto to himself. Then he checked the clock. Shit, I'm going to be late for my first day at the academy. Naruto ran about his apartment getting dressed and packing a few cup ramen to eat for lunch along with a notebook and pencil. Naruto hurried through the streets as fast as his shorter legs would carry him. He realized several things on that run. First, that he had to completely retrain his body to access and use chakra. Second, he was really out of shape. And third, he needed new shoes. Naruto arrived a few minutes late. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be late, said Naruto to the instructor, or rather junior instructor Iruka. Iruka glared at Naruto the same way that so many adults glared at him. Naruto couldn't remember exactly when Iruka stopped glaring at him, and instead saw him, and not the demon contained within. Hurry up and sit down. Naruto nodded and hurried to his seat. Per Kyubi's instructions he sat the middle row. Part of the reason was to properly teach Naruto to gather information from others, in other words, to teach him to properly cheat. Naruto was singled out by Iruka several times to answer questions that even most Chunin wouldn't know. He answered the ones he could, but for the most part he had no idea. I can't remember Iruka-sensei being so mean before, said Naruto to the Kyubi in his head. Don't worry, he'll change soon enough, said Kyubi in response. Naruto now remembered why he hated the first year of academy. They never did anything. It was all theory and strategy. There was nothing about the actual job. They didn't learn to throw kunai or shuriken. They didn't learn anything about chakra. They didn't learn anything applicable other than strategy. Finally, class ended for the day and Naruto was only too happy to get out of there and start his other training. So, what should I do first? Asked Naruto to the fox. Find that freak guy, said Kyubi trying to suppress a shudder. So Naruto set off to find him. He remembered that guy could usually be found in Training Area 18 with Rock Lee training against wooden stumps. That was exactly where Naruto found him, and not surprising, there was a young Rock Lee right beside him training his very hardest. At first he almost didn't recognize Lee without the bowl-cut hair, but his large eyebrow and freak eyelashes were there nonetheless. Excuse me, said Naruto cautiously approaching the field. He wasn't sure how Guy would react to Konoha's hated demon child. Guy stopped and looked to the source of the voice. What's this? The passion of youth has led another young disciple to my tender care. Naruto did everything he could to suppress the shudder that was trying to escape. Sir, I heard the Jounin in the village saying that you and someone named Kakashi were rivals. They said that Kakashi was better at taijutsu than you, but he wouldn't teach anyone. So I thought that maybe you could teach me a little, said Naruto, playing off of Guy's one and only weakness, his rivalry with Kakashi. Who would say such things? I'll have you know that I am Konoha's green beast, the ultimate taijutsu master. Kakashi could never teach you as I could, said Guy strongly. So you'll teach me, said Naruto excitedly, knowing he had Guy trapped. Of course, you shall join me and my other apprentice in training. Our youthful passion shall shine like a beacon to all of Konoha, said Guy in his nice guy pose. Thank you so much, said Naruto, bowing gratefully. Now punch this log 100 times with each arm, And if you can't do that, you'll kick this log 100 times with each leg, and if you can't do that, you'll run around this clearing 100 times, said Guy, patting the top of the log next to him. That put Guy in the middle and Naruto and Lee on each side of him. Naruto had a few choice words for Kyuubi but decided to restrain himself. It was few weeks later that Guy, Naruto, and Lee all had a talk about their progress. Naruto was surprised by how intelligent and serious Guy sounded. Naruto and Lee, said Guy, I am very proud of the progress you have both made. I have now had a chance to evaluate your body types and physical capabilities. Lee, you are very lacking in chakra, and I doubt you will ever be able to use ninjutsu or genjutsu beyond genin level. So I will teach in a forbidden taijutsu style that allows you to fight harder, faster, longer, and utilize the chakra you do have to its fullest extent. However, I warn you now that this is dangerous. I will do whatever you say, Guy-sensei. I will learn this style as best as I can and make you proud of me. If this is the only way for me to become a ninja, then I will do it, said Lee a bit too enthusiastically for Naruto's taste. Naruto, you have an enormous stamina and an even larger chakra capacity than any I have ever seen at your age. With the right training, your capacity will continue to grow exponentially. This means that I can train you for a taijutsu style that relies heavily on using lots of chakra. However, your body is small and you do not have a very long reach. For that reason, you will have to move as fast as Yondaime Hokage was famous for. You will also have to have power to eliminate your opponent in only a few hits. This will require extreme dedication on your part. I'm not going to lie to you. It will be more intense training than Lee will have to go through, explained Lee. Is it Yondaime Hokage's taijutsu style? Asked Naruto. Indeed it is. Not many use the style because it drains so much chakra to use it. So even Sharingan users would struggle to use the style even if they can copy it, explained Guy. I'll do it, whatever it takes, said Naruto. Guy-sensei? Questioned Lee. Yes, Lee, said Guy. Sensei, is Naruto-kun's taijutsu stronger than what you will teach me? No, Lee, they are both equal. The style I am teaching you is easier to learn and use and is very, very powerful but dangerous to the user, hence the drawback of it. The style I will teach Naruto is much harder to learn and even more difficult to use it effectively. However, for his size and build, it is absolutely perfect for him, just as yours is perfect for you. Thank you, Guy-sensei, said Lee, hugging his father figure. Guy just smiled. So, before we get back to work, we need to give you 2 weights, said Guy, dropping a bag on the ground in front of them. Lee, your style will require lots of leg strength and speed. So, you will only need weights on your legs to start with. Naruto, your style will require lots of speed from all areas as well as strength. You will be wearing weights on your arms and legs as well as a weighted belt. You must never take these weights off unless it is to increase the weight, or you are fighting to protect a precious person. Lee and Naruto both nodded seriously before putting on the weights. Now, let's get started. Lee, I want 1,000 kicks with each leg on the stump. Naruto, Guy paused to take out an elastic rope with a ball in the middle. Guy tied the rope to a tree branch so that the ball was at chest level. He then tied the other end of the rope to a kunai, which he then buried underground, drawing the rope tight. Naruto, you will hit this ball 250 times with each arm and each leg. Every time you hit the ball, it will fly back at you, so you must move out of its path quickly. You must always circle around the ball as you go. I'll show you once and then you can do the rest on your own. Guy then hit the ball hard, causing it to go back a few inches before shoot toward him quickly, almost 2 feet. Naruto, for the life of him, could not figure out the physics of it, but rather than question the how and why it did that, he just got on with the exercise. Naruto hit the ball once and just about broke his hand. It was hard but soft at the same time, like taut muscles would be. He barely moved the ball in the slightest back, but it still shot forward at him, hitting him in the chest, knocking the wind right out of him. In the back of his mind, he could hear the Kyuubi laughing at him. This was going to be a long training session. Soon weeks turned into months, turned into 2 years. In that time, Naruto and Lee had become good friends. They were both orphans and both wanted nothing more than to become great shinobi. Lee wanted to prove his ninja way, to become the greatest taijutsu master ever and prove that a person could become a ninja using only taijutsu. Naruto still sought acknowledgement and to become Hokage. And as promised, Naruto took every opportunity he could to embarrass the Uchiha bastard while in classes. Naruto scored average on all of his tests, but any time he faced the Uchiha bastard in something, he went out of his way to humiliate the bastard and knock him down a few pegs, even if he was still the top of the class for grades. Naruto was one of the smart ones in the class. He could definitely be considered a genius, and yet he only scored average on the tests. He found out that Shino did the exact same thing even though he was a genius. Shikamaru was a genius as well, but he was just lazy. Hinata, Ino, and Sakura all had to struggle very hard in the class. Ino and Sakura both excelled in the book work but suffered horribly in the physical work, although Ino was slightly better than Sakura. Hinata seemed to struggle all the way around, but for a simple lack of confidence. Choji was simply an average student. He wasn't a genius, but he wasn't stupid either. The same could be said for Kiba as well. Naruto's relationship with Guy was strictly business, although Guy would sometimes celebrate one of Naruto's training triumphs by treating him to ramen. It was different than Guy and Lee's relationship, which was more like father and son. Naruto and Iruka's relationship though seemed to improve quite a bit too, where Iruka looked to Naruto as a little brother and Naruto looked to him as a bit of an older brother. Still, the few connections that Naruto had made meant the world to him. It even helped to clean up the sewer-like home of Kyubi. Well done, Kit. I have been most impressed with your improvement these last few years. You've listened well to my instructions, and if you keep this up you will make a worthy container yet. Now, I have a most difficult task for you. You need to find a weapon. Follow that girl with the rolls on her head to her home. She can probably help you out, ordered Kyubi simply when the day was coming to an end. As ordered, Naruto followed Tenten home. As fate would have it, she lived above a weapon shop that her parents owned. Naruto entered the shop cautiously. He knew that he wasn't welcomed in most shops, but he had to hope that because he was Tenten's classmate they would at least allow him to buy a few things. Welcome to the Kakashi weaponsmith, said a thin bearded maid wearing a heavy black apron. Excuse me, sir, said Naruto politely. I'm go to the academy with Tenten and she seems to really know weapons. I wanted to ask her about a weapon for me. You're Uzumaki Naruto, aren't you? Asked the smithy. Yes, sir, said Naruto, not daring to meet his eyes. Well, do you know what kind of weapon you'd like? No idea, sir. Someone told me that weapons often reflect our personalities. I was hoping to find such a weapon here, said Naruto with a bit of enthusiasm now that he didn't think he was going to be thrown out of the shop. I see. Well, whoever told you that is quite right, said the smithy. Weapons are a very personal thing. My own daughter Tenten is amazing with any kind of throwing weapon. But she just loves the standard shuriken. I've been trying to create an ultralight, ultra-durable shuriken for her to use. The problem is that they get lost easily and they are quite expensive to make. Have you tried getting her to use a larger shuriken? Like taking 4 kunai and putting them together but closer together on the blades. Easy to throw and hard to lose, suggested Naruto boldly. That's not a bad idea, said the smith. I'll try that and see what Tenten thinks. Great, said Naruto, happy he could be of help. Now let's see about you, said the smith. Definitely not sword. You're not refined enough for a sword. Not a mace either. You're not that barbaric and clumsy. Tell me, do you have a taijutsu style? Yes, sir. Guy-sensei has been teaching me for a few years now, said Naruto. I see, that's good. Although Guy doesn't care for weapons very much unless you're talking about chakra no shaka. Do you fight close range or long range? Short range, answered Naruto. Are your moves meant to be power, fast, or combination of both? Both, sir, said Naruto. Difficult, said the shopkeeper. Do you use a lot of chakra? Yes, sir, said Naruto. That just might work, said the shopkeeper as he went into the back room and returned with a small wooden box which he set on the counter in front of Naruto. Go on, have a look and tell me what you think. Naruto opened the box carefully. Inside were 2 leather gloves that would go at least halfway up his forearm. The gloves seemed to be framed with some kind of metal that bent freely at each joint, though he could not see any hinges. Each knuckle had a small metal disc covering it. What kind of gloves are these? Those are gloves that used to be used by the Hyuga clan and BU members, explained the smithy, though none have used them in 20 or 30 years. No one knows how to use them anymore. If you asked me, the Hyugas have gotten rather pig-headed and stubborn. They think they are invincible and don't require the use of weapons. I say they are wasting their potential. So what do? They help to focus chakra in the hands, explained the old man. If you can master them you can even learn to create chakra spikes on the knuckles. Though the level of chakra control is almost impossible to anyone but a Hyuga, I doubt you'd be able to get that far with them. Still, from what you've told me about your fighting style, they would pack an extra bit of power in every hit you land. Just be careful of your chakra levels. Naruto nodded. How much, sir? 300,000 ryu, said the smithy, causing Naruto's face to face. I'm sorry to have wasted your time, sir, but I can't afford that, said Naruto, checking his froggy wallet. I wouldn't expect you could. Most can't unless they are of the Hyuga clan, said the smithy. However, I could use a bit of help around the smith if you want to work for them. Naruto's eyes shot through with hope as he looked at the man. You mean it? I must be getting soft in my old age, said the old man. You work for me for the next year, and they are yours. When do I start? And how long each day? Just 2 hours a day after the academy lets out. Who knows, maybe I can teach you a thing or two about throwing weapons while you're here, said the old man. You'll start tomorrow, and you can call me a Kakashi-san. Thank you so much, sir. You won't regret this. I promise too that I will stay out of your customer's sight too so that it doesn't hurt your business, said Naruto. Kakashi-san gave Naruto an odd look. Naruto could tell that he-man was searching to see if Naruto knew he was a vessel. What makes you say something like that? Most villagers don't like and call me names. I don't want you to lose business if your customers see that I'm working here, explained Naruto, though. I can't say as why the villagers don't like me, they just don't. Kakashi nodded his acceptance of Naruto's story. Great then, I'll see you tomorrow, said Kakashi, waving goodbye to Naruto as he left the shop. Naruto barely heard the Kakachi's wife rush into the room after he was out the door and start to berate her husband for doing that. Naruto promised himself then that he wouldn't let the old smithy down. Naruto arrived the next day as promised at the appointed time. Welcome back, Naruto, said Kakashi. Thank you again, sir, said Naruto. What do you want me to do? Well, until you gain a bit more understanding of smithing weapons, I want you to work the bellows and shovel coal to keep the furnace hot. It will be really hard work for you, but you'll learn a lot, explained the old smithy. Naruto nodded and got straight to work. When Kakashi said it would be tough work, he wasn't kidding. Even still, Naruto gave the man his absolute best work every day. As a result, Naruto's muscle had developed quite rapidly as a result of the constant lifting and the weights from Guy's training. Naruto still received glares from the smith's wife whenever she entered the shop, but even those were beginning to wane as she saw how hard Naruto worked every day. He never saw hide nor hair of Tenten beyond following her home at a safe distance, so the villagers didn't pass any undue hate onto her and her family from associating with him. It was few weeks later that Naruto learned his next bit about weaponry. "Alright Naruto, take a break, I want to teach you something." Naruto nodded and wiped the sweat from his brow as he went to the smithy's side. "Naruto, forging weapons is not easy work. Part of it requires extremely good chakra control in our hands and arms." "Why, you ask?" "Because when we forge the weapons for shinobi, they often have special requests with regards to the design. Most of your Jounin level shinobi want weapons that can focus and augment their chakra for special uses. Hatake Kakashi once used a weapon known as a fang. It was designed so that by focusing chakra into the blade it made the blade stronger and sharper. Not an easy task to accomplish without really good control. But to forge such a weapon requires absolutely perfect control," explained the smithy. Naruto nodded interestedly. He was in fact really interested in this. He had never gone past Genin, so he'd rarely seen any special weapons used by Jounin shinobi. "So, before I can start letting you help me forge the weapons, you need work on your control," said Kakashi calmly. "How do I do that?" asked Naruto. "Anytime you are not pumping the bellows or shoveling coal to heat the furnace, you are to balance a kunai on your finger using your chakra. Now I'll warn you now, I am giving you one of my best kunai to train with. It is weighted to be heavier, but the metal is specialized to be sharper, so if you don't use just the right amount of chakra, you'll cut your finger off. Also, this kunai had better not ever touch the floor of this place. I don't want the edge damaged because you weren't paying attention. When you've gotten the hang of balancing one kunai, we'll add another until you can balance one kunai on every finger at the same time. Got it?" Naruto swallowed nervously before nodding. He already knew he was going to lose at least one finger trying to learn this. "What happens if it does hit the floor?" "You leave here and not come back," said Kakashi in dead seriousness. "Weapons are not toys, they are meant to be respected and cared for. Dropping a weapon shows a lack of respect for me, my trade, and the weapons." Naruto understood his words perfectly, and nodded his understanding. This was something he was going to learn and learn fast. Just as Naruto predicted, he cut off at least one finger learning the exercise in the first place, but the kunai never hit the floor, even he was bleeding. Thanks to Kyubi, however, Naruto just put the finger back where it was supposed to be and Kyubi healed it right away without the old man ever having to know. It took Naruto nearly a month to learn to properly balance one kunai on his fingertip. It was 6 months after that before he could balance 10 kunai on all 10 digits at the same time. "You've done well, Naruto," said Kakashi as Naruto showed him his balancing act. "It took me almost 2 years to be able to do that, but then I was already much older when I first started to learn to do that. You kids learn so fast as it is." Tenten mastered that trick in about 3 weeks, the little scamp. "Really?" asked Naruto. "She must have perfect control." "She does, but she hasn't really learned any other techniques. She says she wants to be strong like Tsunadeheim, but she never trains anything but her weapons." "Oh well, once she becomes a genin she'll understand much better," said Kakashi with a small smile at Naruto. "You should take to see the Chunin exams, then the next time they come to the village. She would be able to see some of the other shinobi and how they train," said Naruto. "I only went once and I had to sneak in, but you learned so much from watching them." Kakashi chuckled. "I just might do that. Now let's get back to work. Maybe next week I'll teach more about making weapons. In the meantime, I want you to continue practicing your chakra control." Naruto nodded vigorously, setting back to work. It was 2 weeks later Kakashi started to show Naruto how to scan different metals for impurities using his new chakra control, which he picked up quickly enough. Then he learned about folding the metal to strengthen the blade, and finally he learned how to make the weapons capable of focusing chakra using different seals folded into the metal and then altering them carefully using his own chakra. Naruto then learned about all the different kinds of weapons that had been made and what was popular at the time. "So Naruto, you've been with me for 11 months now," said Kakashi. "Did you learn anything?" "So much," said Naruto excitedly as he started rattling off everything that he'd learned from the smith. "Outstanding," said Kakashi when Naruto finished his recitation. "You've learned everything I hoped you would. Now for your final challenge from me. I want you to create a weapon for me. Something original and new that I've never forged before. Put your heart into it, and create a masterpiece for me. You do that and the glove is yours and your time with me is done." "Really?" asked Naruto excitedly. "Does that mean I can use the good metal?" "Indeed it does. I trust you now, boy, so get to work," said Kakashi. For the next month and a half Naruto meticulously crafted his masterpiece. A salute to Kyubi that was to be aptly named Kyubi's tail. He made a blade unlike any that had been seen in centuries. The blade was forged in 10 different segments, with whip-like inner structure allowing the blade to be both a solid blade and a whip at the same time. The chakra seals that Naruto used were simply ingenious. He spent weeks poring over sealing texts trying to find just the right seals to place on the blade pieces to make them do what he wanted. He mixed a bit of his chakra along with Kyuubi's chakra in the final sealing process, giving the blade a red/orange color. It was very powerful at the end of the process. Sadly though, Naruto knew he would never have the fines or skill to wield such an amazing blade. Finally, Naruto presented the finished product to Kakashi. "Well, I can't say as I've ever seen a sword design quite like this before," said Kakashi appreciatively. "You get points for originality. Now show me what it can do." Naruto took the blade in hand and channeled a bit of his chakra into which turned crimson the instant it came in contact with the blade. Naruto swung the blade once, showing its smooth slice. He then jutted the blade forward hard, causing it to separate at each segment, turning to a bladed whip which he swung about clumsily, and yet it looked amazing to watch at the same time. Finally the whip came back together solid as a single piece, or rather what looked like a single piece. Naruto looked to Kakashi to see a slight look of fear in his eyes. How is it possible to create such a blade? Where did that other chakra come from? I don't know, I've always had a second chakra that was kind of red/orange in color. I thought it would look cool in a blade. It kind of reminded me of the way Kyuubi looks in the history books, you know. That's why I named the sword Kyuubi's tail. Fitting, huh? Kakashi nodded numbly. Naruto had just told him that he had a second chakra source that he could always use for as long as he could remember. He'd been able to use Kyuubi's chakra and not know what exactly it was. More than that, he'd drawn a parallel between himself and Kyuubi, and yet the boy had no idea what was sealed inside him, or so he thought. "Naruto, I will be presenting this blade to the Hokage. None of my apprentices have ever forged such a fine, high-quality blade," said Kakashi, now beaming with pride after having gotten over his shock and awe. "Really? Do you think he'll like it?" asked Naruto excitedly, but secretly worried he'd overdone it by a long shot. "I think he will be really impressed that such a genius has been overlooked for so long," said Kakashi. "I don't want to be a genius. Genius are stuck-up snobs who always think they know better than everyone else. I might be as smart as a genius, but I am not one of those bastards," said Naruto strongly, causing Kakashi to chuckle. "Indeed, you're right, Naruto," said Kakashi. "Genius are a bit stuck up. So we'll just say you are gifted." "That will work," said Naruto, clearly appeased by the change in wording. Kakashi laughed again at his extremely gifted 9-year-old apprentice. Only a shinobi would be able to learn the things Naruto has and actually be able to do that which he's learned. No normal citizen could ever hope to compete with a shinobi when it came to learning to do such a physically and mentally intensive job. Break. Kakashi sat patiently waiting outside of the Hokage's office, holding on to one of the most finely crafted blades that came from his shop. The blade was wrapped in red silk. Kakashi could almost feel the blade pulsating with energy in his hands. "The Hokage will see you now, Kakashi-san," said the secretary. Kakashi bowed and entered the Hokage's office. "Toya, so nice to see you again," said old man Sarutobi. "Sara, my old friend," said Kakashi. "How are you?" "Very well, thank you. I must say, I am surprised that you have come to see me. You have not presented a weapon to me in such a long time. I was beginning to think you'd lost your touch." "Not at all, just no reason to make anything exceptional. I'm overstocked on exceptional at the moment, so the regular variety weapons have kept me busy," said Kakashi. "I see, so what do you have for me today?" asked Sarutobi. Kakashi set the blade on the desk and uncovered the handle for the Hokage to examine it himself. Sarutobi took the weapon in hand and removed it from the silk wrappings to examine it closer. He could indeed feel the overwhelming chakra flowing through the blade. "My word," whispered Sarutobi, "how did you do this?" "I didn't, my most recent apprentice did," said Kakashi. "Who?" asked Sarutobi, most interested. He was truthfully hoping he could convince whoever made the blade to make more weapons of this quality. "Uzumaki Naruto," said Kakashi. Sarutobi nearly dropped the blade as he suddenly recognized the chakra flowing from the blade. He did? But how? His teachers all say he is only average in his studies. For that matter, when did he start an apprenticeship with you? I check up on the boy regularly, and he's never made mention of him apprenticing for you. He didn't know he was apprenticing to me. He thought it was just an after-school job to help him pay for a pair of chakra gloves he wanted to buy," explained Kakashi. "So that was the after-school job he mentioned," said Sarutobi before he asked. "A bit young to start with that kind of work though, don't you think?" "At first it was just a job, but then I saw how much he grew and how much his strength increased that I knew he'd be capable, and I was right," said Kakashi. "But what about this chakra, how did he?" "He said that he's always had 2 different chakras. He thought it would look cool if he used his other chakra to color it. He said he thought it looked like the pictures of Kyuubi from the history books. The blade is named Kyuubi's tail." "Tail, why tail?" "This only looks like a sword to me," said Sarutobi, examining it again. "Allow me to show you," said Kakashi, taking the blade back and then showing the Sarutobi the whip-like feature of it. "It truly is Kyuubi's tail, isn't it?" asked Sarutobi. "It may be, but I know that Naruto just used his imagination in creating," said Kakashi. "I know he isn't Kyuubi. Maybe he's had dreams of Kyuubi, perhaps his very first memory from when Yondaime sealed the beast within him. Perhaps, but that doesn't explain how the boy can access the Kyuubi's chakra," said Sarutobi as he scratched his chin. "Anyway, I still wanted to show you the blade and ask for your appraisal of its quality," said Kakashi. "I would say around 3 or 4, said Sarutobi. 100,000? asked Kakashi. "Million," said Sarutobi. "This place is nearly priceless." you will ever see a blade anywhere imbued with demon chakra such as this one. It is one of a kind." Kakashi was speechless. He truly did not know how to react. "However, we really should have the blade tested by a blade master," said Sarutobi before he pushed the intercom button. "Send for Hate, please." "Right away, Hokage-sama," came the secretary's voice back. "Please sit and wait," said Sarutobi, motioning to the chair. It was only a minute later that Hate appeared, cough and all. "You called for me, Hokage-sama," said Hate, kneeling properly. "I have asked you here to test the blade for me," said Sarutobi, motioning to the sword on his desk. "As you wish," said Hate, standing and taking the blade in hand. "Perfectly balanced, lightweight yet very durable, perfect alignment," listed off Hate as he inspected the blade. "Experiment with it if you would," requested Sarutobi. Hate took a few swings of the blade and was very surprised when the blade became a whip. Once he found that he experimented even more, trying to understand the exact way in which it functioned. Sarutobi and Kakashi could both see that Hate did not wish to relinquish the blade that was now in his hands. "Very good, no?" asked Kakashi. Is it your work?" asked Hate. "A recently finished apprenticeship," said Kakashi. "Maybe you have heard of the boy, Uzumaki Naruto." "The demon," said Hate, quickly setting the blade down and stepping away from it. "Naruto is not a demon, he is a boy who is extremely gifted," said Kakashi unhappily. "That blade is probably one of the finest in the village. But if people hear that Naruto forged it, no one will want to touch it." "But the blade must be evil," said Hate. "I could feel the demon chakra on it." "So what? Did you feel evil using it?" asked Sarutobi. "Well, no, but did you feel stronger using it?" asked Sarutobi. "Well, yes, but so would you say the demon chakra enhances your strength but doesn't affect the way you think?" asked Sarutobi. "I suppose, but good, then would you like to purchase this fine blade?" asked Kakashi, playing off of Sarutobi's questioning. "I would, but good, the blade is yours. We'll work out a payment plan later." "I am most interested to hear how well this blade fares under you excellent hands," said Kakashi. "Yes, I want you to take the next week off to train with that blade and see what it is truly capable of." "I don't want you going on a mission for the next month without it in your possession," ordered Sarutobi, "and don't worry about paying for it. The village will buy and dispatch the blade for your usage. However, I do want a report after you've finished training with it, and after your month of missions with it, reporting on its quality, and any abilities you have uncovered in using it." "Yes, Hokage-sama," said Hate, knowing there was no room for argument, "and if you have any questions, feel free to contact the maker. I imagine you will find him spending most of his time in the training fields getting used to his new chakra gloves with Mato Guy's instruction," said Sarutobi with a smile, signaling the end of the meeting. "I'll be sure to let you know if Naruto makes any other weapons in my shop," said Kakashi as he also left the Hokage's office. "You're becoming very interesting, Uzumaki Naruto," said Sarutobi as he looked out of his office window surveying the village below. "Very interesting indeed. Break, Naruto. I am pleased to see that you have increased your training time back to where it was a year ago," said Guy happily. "Sorry, sensei, there was something I had to do," said Naruto, "and now I've got these." Naruto then held up the chakra gloves for Guy to examine. "Chakra gloves," said Guy. "Interesting choice of weapons, Naruto. If you are able to learn to use them, then they will complement your taijutsu style very nicely." "Oh yeah, I almost forgot," said Naruto, digging into the bag he brought with him. "I found this scroll in a small shop and thought it might be useful for Lee and I." Guy smiled. "Naruto, the flames and passion of youth are strong, and to care so much for your friend and teacher." Guy took the scroll and opened it and began reading. "Naruto, where did you find this?" "This was supposed to be a lost technique. Just some old junk shop. The lady pretty much threw it at me to get me out of the shop though," he said, acting a bit sad. "Naruto, this scroll holds the gravity seal technique meant for intense physical training. With this technique you will never again need to change your weights, only the seal," said Guy. "I have never been so proud in my life." "Oh, okay," said Naruto, while in his head he was chided Kyubi for not telling him how rare the technique was when he wrote the scroll out the night before. "Remove your weights, my students, for with this you shall receive the greatest training ever," said Guy. "So how does it work?" asked Naruto. "It is a genjutsu that make your muscles strain as though the gravity was heavier than it actually is. It makes you stronger faster than regular weight because it affects every muscle but your heart and lungs," explained Guy. "This is going to be so great," shouted Lee before jumping up and dancing about. Thankfully he didn't have the green spandex suit yet, and he wouldn't get one until he became an official genin of the Leaf Village. "This is going to suck," said Naruto under his breath as he prepared for the worst. "Finally, I can take the damn genin exam," said Naruto to himself as he went to the academy. He was 13, the normal age for graduating from the academy, and now he just had to get past this stupid test. "Welcome, class," said Irika. "Today we will be having the genin exams. Good luck to all of you. Please come into the next room when your name is called." Naruto put his head down on the desk to wait for his turn. "This is boring just sitting here," complained Kiba. "So send Akamaru to piss on Uchiho Bastard's leg," said Naruto with an evil smirk. "Good idea," said Kiba before looking at his dog. "So what do you think?" "Bark," replied Akamaru, which Kiba seemed to understand. "But it'll be funny," said Kiba. "Bark, bark," replied Akamaru. "Fine, you're right, we should just concentrate on the exam," said Kiba. "Hey Shino, I'll pay you a 100 riot to have you send some of your bugs up Sasuke's pants to him during his test," said Naruto to his bug fetish friend. "They say no," said Shino simply. "Che, complained Naruto, putting his head back on the desk to wait his turn. Naruto, what do you have against Sasuke anyway? Asked Choji between bites of chips. He lusts for power because of what his brother did, and now he won't hesitate to do anything to get the power he's after. That includes betraying the village and or killing one of us, said Naruto. I may not be the sharpest kunai in the pouch, but I can read people like Shikamaru can read a shogi board. You really think that Sasuke would do something like that? Asked Choji. Without a doubt, said Naruto. The bugs say Naruto is right, said Shino before going silent again. I hope I don't end up on his team, said Kiba. If I do, I might just accidentally kill him on our first serious mission, said Naruto coldly. You're probably the only person in class that could, said Choji. Nah, Shino could take him, said Naruto. So how come neither of you are Rookie of the Year? Asked Choji. Because we're smarter than Sasuke. We know that if we just do average on our scores, we'll end up on a more well-balanced team. Best in class and worst in class always get paired together, creating a really bad imbalance in team strength. The top in class is always expected to make up for the worst student's shortcomings, said Naruto. On the other, just because someone is bad in class does not mean that they aren't good shinobi. Some people just can't take tests but are excellent when using jutsu, maybe even better than the top student. You really think so? Asked Choji. Yep, said Naruto just before his name was called in to do the exam. Naruto was sent to a different class after he finished the test to wait on the other students that passed the exam. Choji, Shikamaru, Shino, and Kiba soon joined him along with another 20-some students, including the Uchiha bastard. Good job, graduates, said Iruka after he entered the room. Be back here tomorrow morning to receive your team assignment. After everyone left, Naruto dragged Iruka to eat ramen again. I don't know how you can eat that stuff every day and still get stronger. It has got to be unhealthy, said Iruka. Nah, I have a special metabolism that lets me eat whatever I want, said Naruto calmly. Naruto, the Hokage, he asked me to talk to you about something important, said Iruka. Naruto could hear the hesitation in his voice. He had a feeling he knew what it was about. If it's about my resident, then you don't need to tell me, I already know. Iruka just spit out the noodles in mouth before looking at Naruto in shock. How did you find out? Said Naruto, thinking. I met him and he told me what happened, and then I told he had to start paying rent. So for a long time now I've been using my chakra, and if I need it I can use his too, though he can be a bit stingy. You met him? And you're still alive? Yeah, it's no big deal. Sure, he's 7,000 years old, but once you get to know him he's gentle as a pussycat, said Naruto, dripping with sarcasm that was not lost on the instructor. How is he really? Cranky, loud, obnoxious, and really pushy. He's got this idea in his head that I should be a worthy container, so he's constantly going off at the mouth about training more. In a sense, it is kind of good to have him yelling at me to train all the time because I'm always getting stronger, but it does get downright annoying at times, explained Naruto honestly. How long have you known? Since I was 6, some idiot villager hit me in the head with a beer bottle and left me for dead. That was the first time I met the fox. He healed me and called me a weak vessel that was unworthy of his greatness. Well, you know me. I didn't take that very well. I don't know if you noticed, but my pranks suddenly stopped around that time. I was expending all that extra energy torturing the fox any way I could. Usually just taunting him, or singing children's songs in my head. He's sworn to me that if he ever meets Barney that he tear him limb from limb, and use his entrails as floss. I can't say as I disagree with him on that one, but it still gets dead annoying. So, we've reached a compromise. I train to become a worthy container, and he gives up his chakra when I ask for, explained Naruto as he continued to eat his ramen. Why haven't you talked to the Hokage about this? Why would I? He never told me about it in the first place, and yet he must have known. He may have always been kind to me and treated me fairly when most other wouldn't, but he still lied or rather kept secrets about me from me. Why can't I keep some of my own secrets about me from him? Asked Naruto a bit hotly. Iruka just nodded. That is a fair point, Naruto. And you're certain the fox will not be escaping? Naruto gave Iruka a dirty look. What do you take me for, a simpleton? That was first thing I looked into when I learned about the fox. I found out every last detail about the seals Yondaime used to seal that bastard in to make sure he would never get. I might not have had a choice in having the bastard put in there, but now that he's there, he sure as hell isn't getting out. Iruka smiled fondly at Naruto. I still don't know why you didn't apply yourself in classes. You could have been Rookie of the Year, so could have Shino, but he and I both understand that we have better odds of ending up on a more well-balanced team by being average even if we are gifted, said Naruto as he motioned to the cook for another bowl. Iruka smiled and continued his ramen. That night did not get as stressful as it could have been. Iruka saw Naruto home before he went to meet with the Hokage as promised. So Iruka, tell me, how did Naruto take the news? He already knew, said Iruka to the Hokage's surprise. Iruka then launched into the explanation that Naruto gave him. In the end the Hokage was chuckling. Amazing. I know. I couldn't believe how candid he was in talking about it, said Iruka. Did you have any reason to doubt his story? Asked Sarutobi. No, I've known Naruto for a long time now. I can tell when he's lying or withholding information, said Iruka confidently. I see. It would have been so easy for him to feign ignorance of the fox with the law, even more so as it never came up in conversation beyond history lessons, said Sarutobi. Anyway, It is getting late, sir, and I still have to arrange the teams, said Iruka, politely excusing himself. Naruto, you're turning out more and more interesting every day, said the Hokage as he puffed on his pipe. Break. Naruto woke up early the next day as usual to meet with Guy and leave for their morning workout. A workout that Neji and Tenten never knew about nor cared to take part in. They were both satisfied with the way things were and saw no reason to change. Besides, as Neji was often quoted, I am fated to this path or some such bullshit. The morning routine ended when Lee and Guy had to go meet their team for their daily mission. Naruto though went home for a quick shower before he had to report to the academy for team assignments. Naruto walked into the class just as it was about to begin, just as it always did. Congratulations again to all of you who passed. However, now the real work begins in your journey towards becoming Chunin, said Iruka proudly. So, here are the teams: Team 7, Hyuga Hinata, Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, said Iruka. Naruto shot up to his, throwing his chair back away from him. Change the teams, he ordered. I'm sorry, Naruto, but the teams were approved by the Hokage, said Iruka. If you put me on the same team as the Uchiha bastard, I will no doubt kill him, and then there will be no Uchiha left in Konoha, and then when I kill Itachi, there will be no Uchiha anywhere. The clan will end and the Sharingan will be lost forever, said Naruto adamantly. Naruto, teams are final as approved by the Hokage. You'll just have to work out your differences, said Iruka before continuing on with the team listings. Naruto picked up his discard chair and threw it with such force at the blackboard that the feet actually went through the board before Naruto stormed out of the classroom, headed straight for the Hokage's office. Let me see the old man, Naruto said to the secretary, who gave him a cold look in return. You have to come back later, the Hokage is in a meeting and is not to be disturbed, especially by one like you, said the secretary. Naruto just growled before ignoring her and the ANBU outside the office and stormed inside. In the office, the Hokage was sitting with Hyuga Hayashi, obviously deep in discussion. Naruto, what can I do for you? Asked the Hokage, noting the red slit eyes Naruto was sporting at the moment. It either meant Naruto was pissed or the QB was in charge. Change the damn teams, said Naruto simply. Naruto, the teams are chosen based the ability to balance its members out, said Sarutobi. Change the damn teams now, said Naruto, getting angrier than before. Sarutobi took a file out of his desk to check the team assignments. Ah, I see, said Sarutobi. Naruto, please sit for a moment and calm down. Let me explain my reasoning. Naruto never had reason to doubt the old man in the past, so he sat to listen. Naruto, have you met Hyuga Hayashi? Asked Sarutobi politely. No, sir, but I have heard of you, said Naruto politely, inclining his head to the man. Naruto could tell both men were slightly unnerved to see the red QB eyes staring them both down. Naruto, are you aware that Hyuga Hinata has had several attempts on her life from other villages trying to acquire the Byakugan eyes? Asked Sarutobi. Yes, sir, said Naruto. Hinata was dead last in the class this year, not because she isn't capable but because she lacks confidence. Every time someone attempts to kidnap her or take her eyes, she slips a bit more. Now you are simply overflowing with confidence, something that could help her greatly, explained Sarutobi. Hinata is not the problem, that Uchiha bastard is the problem, said Naruto, still fuming. I understand that, but let me finish, said Sarutobi calmly, trying to pacify Naruto. The last place student and first place student are always paired together to balance them out. But this time, it is also to provide Hinata-san with extra protection. Uchiha is not even that good, Shino is by far better than Sasuke, and so am I for that matter, protested Naruto. I know, but there is still more to it. Sasuke is constantly looking for a fight to improve his ability. He is therefore more like to fight any attackers than protect her. To an extent we need that. We need to keep the Uchiha occupied with challenges, explained Sarutobi. Something was finally starting to make a bit of sense to Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke is a flight risk, said Sarutobi finally. He is so consumed by his desire for power that he would do anything to get his hands on it. Not only that, but when Itachi killed off the clan, he did something to Sasuke's mind which have been unable to repair. Top that off with the fact that our spies have recently learned that someone has taken an interest in Sasuke. Orochimaru, said Naruto coolly. Yes, how did you know? Asked Sarutobi. It's not that hard to figure out. Orochimaru abandoned the village after he was passed over for Hokage, swearing he'd have his revenge. Orochimaru's greatest ambition is to learn every jutsu in the world. He can do that with the Sharingan eyes. And if I remember correct, he abandoned the village after you caught him doing human experimentation in the pursuit of finding an immortality technique, which is impossible as even demons aren't immortal, even if they'd like to think so. So that leaves a mind-switching jutsu which wouldn't be that hard to develop into a permanent technique if it was based of the Yamanaka's Hijitsu. Very good, Naruto, said Sarutobi. You even thought of some angle I had not considered. So basically, you want me to back up the Uchiha if there are any more attempts to take Hinata, and more than that, you want me there to prevent the Uchiha bastard from running, said Naruto calmly. His red eyes faded some time ago. Exactly, said Sarutobi. And if he does try to run? Asked Naruto. Then he will have to be eliminated, said Sarutobi, though we would like to recover the Sharingan eyes if possible. Your Jounin sensei has already been briefed on the situation, so don't be too surprised if at some point your sensei ignores you to train Sasuke for nothing else than to appease the boy and keep him in the village. I have just one request then, said Naruto. Under no circumstances is the Uchiha to be taught any assassination techniques like the Rasengan or Kakashi-san's Chidori. If he is a flight risk, then the last thing we need is for him to know such techniques, and make sure the Jounin instructor is aware of that, because so help if he is taught such a technique, I will QB out of his cage just to kill that Jounin. With that, Naruto stood and left behind a stunned Hokage and Hyuga head. Once Naruto was out of the room, the door closed to reveal one Hatake Kakashi standing behind the door. I hope you were listening very closely to what that boy just told us, Kakashi-san, said Sarutobi. I don't care how he knows about those techniques. But so help if you put him such a position where he would even consider unleashing QB, that demon will be the least of your worries next to me. Kakashi was actually paying close attention to the warning despite his itch to read his favorite novel. Hyuga-sama, do you have any doubts now that your daughter will be safe with her selected team? Asked Sarutobi. I actually feel safer with her being teamed with that boy Naruto than I do with her being teamed with Kakashi or the Uchiha bastard, said Hayashi coolly. Naruto is the type that he would die to protect those important to him, said Sarutobi. You should feel honored that he still feels this village is very important to him. And what about the inevitable confrontation between him and the Uchiha? Asked Kakashi. Would Naruto really kill him? I just gave Naruto an order not to kill him but to retrieve the Sharingan. If that boy ever tries to betray the village, I have no doubt that Naruto will bring him back alive. However, I doubt that the Uchiha will ever be able to be shinobi again afterwards, said Sarutobi. I would agree with your appraisal, said Hayashi. I would highly suggest you be very mindful of that boy's request with regards to training the Uchiha. I still say that one of those girls would have been better for the Uchiha's temperament, said Kakashi. I might have agreed with you once upon a time, but the situation is how it is for a reason, said Sarutobi. Now, you will go and collect your team. I would suggest you forget about that book of yours because I get the feeling that Naruto will not react too kindly to you being late. Kakashi shrugged and strolled out of the room. Naruto will be most interesting to watch over the next few years, said Hayashi. Most interesting indeed, agreed Sarutobi. Break. Naruto left that office with his mind reeling with new questions for all the answers he just received. So many things from the first timeline were falling into place. So many of the questions that had been left unanswered when he came back were now all filled in. Kakashi didn't just ignore him in favor of the Uchiha bastard, he was ordered to in the hopes of preventing the Uchiha from becoming a missing nin. But then did Sarutobi know that Naruto would have been able to recover Sasuke that first time too, or was there something else involved? Naruto was giving himself a severe migraine trying to sort through all the information, so instead he just decided to play things by ear at this point. Naruto returned to the classroom where only Hinata and Sasuke were left waiting. The chair was still stuck in the wall. Sasuke gave him the evil eye upon entering, and Hinata just about ducked under desk in fright. Naruto could already tell this was going to be a long couple of months until the Chunin exams. Naruto took a seat as far away from the Uchiha bastard as possible when ended up with him sitting next to Hinata. Naruto could hear her heart beating rapidly just sitting next to her. Hinata, calm down, said Naruto in a calm, soothing voice. Just because hate that bastard down there doesn't mean I don't like you. Hinata's heart fluttered for a moment, but calmed down noticeably afterward. Better, said Naruto with a friendly smile that made Hinata just about melt in her seat. You know, I saw your father in the Hokage's office. Hinata looked panicked. Don't worry, he was just worried that Uteen might hold you back, said Naruto with a minor lie. I know he acts tough on the outside, but he really does care about you. Hinata couldn't believe what she was hearing from Naruto. It had to be a lie, but then Naruto would never lie. It wasn't his nindo. Anyway, he was more concerned about that Uchiha bastard endangering your life, said Naruto a bit louder than necessary for Hinata to hear just to torment Sasuke. Naruto winked at Hinata in the hopes that she would play along. Tusen has always said that the Uchiha were more dangerous to their teammates than to the enemy, said Hinata, stuttering slightly. That was actually true, though she didn't really understand what that comment was about. He's right, said Naruto with a smirk. You have to watch yourself around the Uchiha or they'll stick a knife in your back. Just look at what Sasuke's brother did. He was well respected in the village, a bright star among shinobi, and then he kills his very best friend, an Uchiha, to upgrade the Sharingan eyes to their ultimate level, and then he goes and kills his entire clan, save for his weak little brother. Hinata was in shock. She never knew that information. No one had ever told her. Is that true, Naruto-kun? She asked timidly. Naruto looked at Hinata seriously for a minute before he spoke. Hinata, I wouldn't lie about something like that to you. That really happened. So, I'll warn you now. While Sasuke might have the potential to be a powerful shinobi, he is too dangerous to befriend. His mind is sick with revenge, and he will do anything to get it, including killing his best friend. Now I will protect you no matter what, Hinata, but don't risk your life unnecessarily. That's my job. You just worry about getting stronger and fighting for what you feel is right, okay? Hinata nodded vigorously, not trusting herself to speak. Naruto had just sworn to give his life if necessary to protect. But more than that, he had encouraged her to get stronger and follow her beliefs. So, Hinata, enough picking on the poor Uchiha bastard. Why do you want to be a shinobi? In all the time Naruto had known Hinata, he never talked to her much and figured now was as good a time as any. I want to change my clan and myself, stuttered the girl. That is a great dream, Hinata, said Naruto with a fond smile. I know too that someday you'll make that dream come true if you work hard for it. Hinata smiled slightly before bowing her head in thanks. Hinata, no need to bow to me. I'm not an Uchiha bastard to be worshipped like a god. I'm just Naruto, future Hokage and all of that. Hinata actually laughed a bit at that. You laughed, said Naruto in amazement. You know, in all the years I've known you I've never heard you laugh before. It's nice, you should do that more often. With that comment Hinata blushed furiously and couldn't or rather wouldn't dare meet Naruto's eyes. Naruto checked his watch. He should be here right about now. And with that the door opened to reveal a silver-haired man with one eye covered by his forehead protector, and the other looked rather sleepy. Why don't we go up on the roof? He suggested before he vanished. Great, he's a pervert, said Naruto. How do you know that? Asked Hinata curiously as she followed Naruto out of the classroom. Did you see that orange book sticking out of his pouch? Asked Naruto. Yes? Said Hinata. Why does that make him a pervert? That book is the infamous Aika Aika Paradise by the super pervert Jiraiya, also one of the Sannin, said Naruto. If he has that book it means he's a pervert. Oh, how do you know about that book? I caught the Hokage reading it once, said Naruto, not wanting to go into too much detail. Oh, said Hinata, your father reads it too. I saw him coming out of the adult bookstore once with nose in it. His face was a bit red, said Naruto. I'm pretty sure that most of the male population in this village is perverted. Ninja really are lacking interpersonal skills if they have to rely on a book for their kicks. Hinata blushed horribly at Naruto's comment, but she was mortified to find out that her father, her dignified, honorable, well-respected father, read that kind of smut. Then the thought struck her that she now had blackmail material, not that she would ever use such a thing. Finally Naruto and Hinata arrived. Kakashi and Sasuke were already waiting. What took you so long? Demanded a very unhappy and very angry Sasuke. What's the rush, especially when this pervert was already 3 hours late? Asked Naruto, jerking a thumb at their new sensei. Why don't we start with introductions? You know, what you like, don't like, hobbies, dreams for the future, that sort of things, said Kakashi. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. I like ramen, cup ramen, training taijutsu with Gai-sensei, reading technique scrolls, and pissing off the Uchiha bastard. I don't like the 3 minutes it takes to boil water for cup ramen, the Uchiha bastard, or people that would betray our village for a little more power. As a hobby I like to make special chakra weapons using my second chakra source because they look damn cool when I'm finished with them. My dream is to be able to protect my precious people by becoming Hokage and to find out who my parents were, rattled off Naruto enthusiastically, looking pointedly at the Uchiha bastard at the right moments. Very good Naruto, said Kakashi even though he didn't quite understand the second chakra part. Now you Hinata-san. I like. Then she blushed after glancing at Naruto. I don't like mean people like Uchiha-san. My hobbies are flower arranging and singing. My dream is to change my clan and become a strong heir. Kakashi smiled through his face mask at the girl. Very nice Hinata. Now you Sasuke. I don't like much. I hate a lot of things. My only hobby is to become stronger. Dreams are for weak people. My ambition is to kill a certain man and then rebuild my clan, said Sasuke coldly. Idiot, said Naruto. An ambition is the same as a dream. They are both simply goals for the future. Sasuke glared hard at Naruto and radiated a fair amount of killer intent toward the blonde. Well, that's good everyone. I'm Hatake Kakashi. I like a lot of things. My hobbies are I have dreams. In other words, you like to read porn and make money to buy more porn, which is also your hobby. Most of your dreams are probably perverted as well, said Naruto. Kakashi frowned under his mask. He'd never had a student that was so hostile toward him. Not even Sasuke was so hostile toward him. Anyway, meet me tomorrow at 5 on Training Field 7 for a survival exercise. You mean final test, said Naruto coolly. Exactly, now don't eat or you'll puke. See you then, later, said Kakashi slightly irked. How was it possible for Naruto to know so much? Kakashi just shrugged it off. He missed a lot of reading time that morning and need to catch up, so he just disappeared in a puff of smoke. Pervert, mumbled Naruto. I'd be better off on my own, said Sasuke as he stalked off. You'd be dead on your own, said Naruto. And I'm supposed to be able to learn from that pervert, said Sasuke. Naruto was slightly annoyed that he didn't fully appreciate the situation. He was Yondaime Hokage's prized student. He might be a pervert, but he is probably the strongest ninjutsu user in the village other than the Hokage. What would you know? Questioned Sasuke, clearly pissed off that he'd been outdone by someone average yet again. Obviously more than you. Now I'm leaving, said Naruto. Want to come, Hinata? Hinata was shocked that Naruto invited her along, so she just nodded and followed along next to him. What do you want to do? We have the rest of the day off, said Naruto with a smile on his face. The cold exterior he was presenting to Sasuke simply vanished. I don't know, stuttered Hinata. I know, let's go see a Kakashi-san, said Naruto excitedly. I haven't visited him for a while now. Hinata nodded, though she didn't know who a Kakashi-san was. Naruto led her through town until they arrived at a small weaponsmith. Naruto entered the shop and signaled Hinata to follow him in. Hello Naruto, said the old smithy. I haven't seen you for a long time. I've been busy. Anyway, how's business? Not bad. I've had several NBU and recently asking about that sword you made way back when. I guess Hayate-san has been bragging about the quality quite a bit, said a Kakashi. They want to know if you've made other weapons like it. Nah, I don't make my weapon to sell. They are just for fun. That reminds me. I was hoping I could make another one if that's okay. Of course, what do you plan to make this time? Asked Kakashi excitedly. Well, you once told me that Kakashi-sensei used a fong. I was thinking I'd make one for him as a present, said Naruto with a grin. Certainly, but if I'm going to give you the materials you'll have to make something for the shop to sell as well, said Kakashi. Alright, said Naruto. Do you want to help me, Hinata? I couldn't, she began to mumble. Sure you can, said Naruto. It is hard work, but it will help you get stronger quickly. Hinata was doubtful of her ability. Don't worry, Hyuga-san, said Kakashi. Naruto-kun will be doing the hardest part. Hinata then nodded, albeit reluctantly. Great, let's get to it. Thongs aren't that difficult to make as they are small. The difficult part is the chakra seals, said Naruto with a grin as he peeled off his black long-sleeve shirt, revealing only a black sleeveless undershirt. He had very well-toned arms from what Hinata could see, not that she was staring or anything. Anyway, Ikagachi-sensei will get you started. Ikagachi nodded and showed Hinata how to work the bellows and what to look for with the fire while Naruto set to work folding the good steel into a blade. Hinata was amazed at how tough the work was, and she knew that she'd be sore the next day, but it all seemed worthwhile to her, especially if she was going to get stronger. Just as Naruto said, it didn't take very long to make the blade, but then he started with the seals. Hinata had never seen anything so complicated in her life than the sealing pattern that Naruto was using. I can see you've studied up on Fon designs and their chakra patterns, said Ikagachi, studying the seal before he saw an oddity. What's this seal for? Well, you know how I have 2 chakras, right? Well, the second chakra tends to be very violent, almost to the point of overwhelming the senses. So, I've got to put that control seal in to eliminate that feeling and still allow the second chakra's strengthening effect to work properly, explained Naruto as he began the final sealing process. Very interesting, Naruto, said Ikagachi appreciatively. Naruto really did do excellent work. The blade was perfect, and he made it so quickly, still nothing was lost in the power of the blade. It wasn't nearly as complex as the first sword Naruto ever made. Excellent work, Naruto, said Ikagachi. However, it has gotten rather late, and I'm sure that Hayashi-sama will be worried about his daughter. Can I make the second weapon next week? Asked Naruto as he tested his now completed chakra fong. Of course, now run along, you scamp, said Ikagachi with a broad smile at the thought of being able to sell another of Naruto's masterpieces. Naruto walked Hinata home. He earned a rather scolding look from Hayashi, but Naruto could tell that it was out of worry for Hinata's safety and not for the fact that he was a demon vessel. See you tomorrow, Naruto-kun, said Hinata without much of a stutter. At some point that day she'd become much more comfortable around Naruto without noticing it. Just remember to eat. You know that pervert is going to be late anyway, said Naruto with a grin. Hinata nodded and smiled at Naruto's antics. It was a smile that was not missed by Hayashi either. Naruto arrived the next morning to the training grounds on time. Originally he planned to show up later than Kakashi, but he forgot to tell Hinata to do the same thing. Besides, he was already up well before then training his taijutsu with Guy. Morning, Hinata, said Naruto, stifling a yawn. He was tired from his workout, not from a lack of sleep. Morning, Naruto-kun, replied Hinata. Naruto could see that she'd been up early training as well. Then he noticed a bit of soot on her coat. Did you go to Ikagachi's this morning? Asked Naruto. Hinata looked slightly panicked. I thought that, but my father. That's great, Hinata. Ikagachi can teach you a lot and it is really good exercise, said Naruto proudly. Don't worry, I won't tell your father. If you want, I'll even cover for you and say that you were training with me in the morning. Hinata smiled with a few tears in her eyes and bowed her head appreciatively. She knew that if her father ever found out she was learning such a thing that he'd be very cross with her. Hey now, what did I say about the being so formal stuff? Asked Naruto. Hinata looked up with a slight blush. I'm trying, she mumbled. Well, keep trying, you'll get there, said Naruto with a smile. Unfortunately, that smile instantly vanished when the Uchiha bastard showed up. Neither Naruto nor Hinata said anything to him when he arrived. Hinata was honestly scared of what Sasuke might do to her if she did befriend him. Naruto just hated him. Unfortunately, Naruto knew what was coming and sighed heavily. Uchiha, I don't like you and you don't like me, but we have a problem. Kakashi-sensei is going to test us, and he is probably going to test us on teamwork somehow. But first I imagine he'll do something to divide us. So, I would like to propose an agreement. We work together this one time to become official genin, and then we can hate each other again as if nothing ever happened. Sasuke was actually considering Naruto's words, but then he remembered that Naruto hated him, as was probably just saying that to pull another one over on him. No, Naruto sighed. Fine. I guess Hinata and I will pass this test without you. Naruto knew that would irk Sasuke more than anything, and yet he didn't react. It was hours later before the pervert finally showed up. Sorry I'm late. There was this old lady and she. Liar, yelled Naruto at the pervert. Anyway, today is your final genin exam. What are we doing? Asked Sasuke. You just need to get a bell for me to pass, said Kakashi with a shrug. But there are only 2 bells, stuttered Hinata. That's right, so one of you will definitely be going back to the academy, said Kakashi. Oh, and you only have until noon. He then set an alarm clock on one of the stumps. Go, said Kakashi as he vanished. The 3 disappeared from view. Naruto and Hinata went to the same place. You were right, Naruto-kun. He did try to divide us from the start, said Hinata with only the slightest stutter. So how do we get that Uchiha bastard to work with us? Asked Naruto. But we don't need him to pass, said Hinata. Unfortunately we do, said Naruto. All genin teams are to be 3-man cells. Without that bastard we're only 2. Oh, said Hinata, slightly embarrassed for herself. Don't worry, not many can figure that out. Uchiha Bastard is supposed to be a genius and yet hasn't figured it out. As you can see, he's getting his ass handed to him by Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto, pointing over his shoulder where Sasuke had just been buried up to his neck. So what do we do? Asked Hinata. We work together and hope for the best, said Naruto with a grimace. We should have a plan then, said Hinata. Yeah, you and I are both strongest in taijutsu, so we'll have to attack from that angle, said Naruto. Do you think if I kept him busy you'd be able to close the tenketsu in one arm and a leg? I can try, but I'm not very good, said Hinata. You're a genin, Hinata. You're not supposed to be very good yet. I'm not even that good yet, and I've been training for a very long time. He's a jounin for a reason, Hinata. He doesn't expect us to win or even come close, but we've got to try, said Naruto encouragingly. Hinata smiled slightly at Naruto's words. They weren't the most convincing, but they did make her feel better about the situation. Okay, then we'll do our best. Naruto smiled at Hinata's words. Now that's more like, let's go. Naruto and Hinata both moved in quickly to attack. Kakashi wasn't too surprised that these two worked together. He'd listened to their entire planning session and their discussion while they were waiting for him to arrive. He was, however, surprised when Naruto attacked using his old sensei's taijutsu style. His moves were a bit sloppy, but they were better than genin level for taijutsu. Hinata attacked predictably with the gentle fist, though she was very sloppy in her movements. Kakashi could see that skill wasn't her problem but more her confidence. Each of her strikes was slightly hesitant. The pair attacked him with pretty good teamwork. However, their attacks were uncoordinated and didn't flow together the way most successful teams work together. He knew, though, that if they trained together more often they would develop a very complementary style of fighting. While Hinata and Naruto were fighting to gain position and the right opportunity to grab the bells, the sneaky Uchiha Bastard came in and took a bell, then retreated. Bastard, screamed Naruto after the retreating form of the Uchiha. Don't worry about him, Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she continued to fight Kakashi. I need your help here. Naruto refocused his energy on Kakashi and helping Hinata. You two don't have to continue fighting me, said Kakashi as he continued to parry their attacks. You've already passed. I know, said Naruto with a grin. But this is kind of fun. Hinata was shocked, but then she realized she too was having fun. For the first time ever, she was having fun fighting. It wasn't training or trying to get stronger. It was just fighting for the sake of competition, and it was fun. Yeah, it is. Kakashi smiled and continued to fight the pair, even increasing the intensity with which he fought. Naruto, who taught you this fighting style? Gai-sensei has been training me in taijutsu since I was 6, said Naruto with a smile. I'm not very good yet, but I'm getting better. You're certainly not bad with the style, said Kakashi. A few more years and you'll probably master it. I hope so, said Naruto. Learning anything that was once the Yandame's is so cool. It is kind of like honoring his sacrifice by carrying on his knowledge, you know? Kakashi smiled fondly at the boy. You're absolutely right, Naruto. Hinata was amazed that Naruto and Kakashi were having a conversation while fighting so intensely at the same time. It took every last bit of her concentration just to stay in the fight. She suddenly realized what it meant to be a genius, or rather, as Naruto preferred to say, gifted. You know that alarm went off about 20 minutes ago? Asked Kakashi as he ducked a particularly vicious kick to his head. I'm sure Sasuke is wondering where we are. But I haven't even hit you yet, said Naruto with a slight pout. And you probably won't, said Kakashi. I'm sure you can tell that I'm not trying very hard. I know, said Naruto with a pout before jumping away, effectively ending the fight. Hinata breathed a sigh of relief. She didn't know how much longer she could keep up. As it was, she'd stopped trying to hit Tenketsu because she would have completely depleted all of her chakra reserves. Come on, let's go meet Sasuke so I can officially graduate you all, said Kakashi. Why are they still here? Asked Sasuke. They don't the bells so they fail, right? No, they are the only ones that understood the real purpose of the test, teamwork. However, I did say that if you got a bell you would pass. So, congratulations, you've all passed my test, said Kakashi. Meet me by the aqueduct tomorrow at 9 o'clock to start our real missions. Wait a second, Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto, stopping the pervert from disappearing. Yes, Naruto, said Kakashi. Hinata and I have a gift for you, said Naruto, taking out small bundle of red silk. Kakashi-sensei once told me that you used to use a chakra fong but it broke on a mission. He didn't tell me much about it. Anyway, I made this for you. Naruto then held out the red silk bundle. Kakashi looked curiously at the bundle and took it from Naruto to reveal a crimson red tube. It was a fong and sheath. I give you the Kyuubi's fong, said Naruto with a smile. Hinata helped me make it so it's from the both of us. Kakashi grasped the hand and pulled free the blade. He was in awe. This was even higher quality than his father's old chakra fong. It was perfectly balanced, and it received chakra perfectly. Naruto, this is… Anyway, Hinata and I have some celebrating to do, said Naruto, grabbing her hand and disappearing with her. Kakashi was now staring at the empty field. He never believed he would wield a chakra fong again, but he knew now that would not be the case. He was truly blessed with outstanding students. Break. Naruto-kun, said Hinata. Why did you say it was from me too? You helped me make it, said Naruto. So it was from both of us. Hinata smiled and nodded. Thank you, Naruto-kun. No problem, said Naruto with a grin. Want to get some ramen? Hinata nodded and followed Naruto through town to his favorite ramen stand. Together they ate ramen noodles and talked a bit. I've always been interested in healing, but father would never approve, said Hinata with only a slight stutter. Why does your father have to approve? If you want to become stronger, you should do whatever you feel is right. If learning healing will make you stronger, then learn healing, said Naruto confidently. But I don't even know where to begin, said Hinata defeated. Okay then, next stop is Konoha Hospital, said Naruto. We'll go to the hospital library. They have hundreds of scroll on healing and the human body. If you want to learn healing, that is the best place to start. Besides, I doubt your father would be bothered much he saw you studying anatomy at home. You could just say that you were learning better ways to use the gentle fist. Any scroll with healing jutsu you could just stash in my apartment, and study them after daily training or something. You really think that would work? Asked Hinata shyly. Of course it would, said Naruto. Your father is smart enough that he would let you learn whatever you want as long as you maintain your image for the clan and the clan elders. Hinata was shocked that Naruto could say such a thing about her father. It was unbelievable, and more than that, she thought he might be correct. Anyway, let's go, said Naruto, paying for their noodles and leading the way to the hospital library. Once inside, Naruto found a medic needing to recommend some good scrolls for Hinata to begin studying. He didn't really like Naruto, and at first he didn't want to help until he learned that it was for a Hyuga. Hinata thought it was odd that the medic Nin wanted nothing to do with Naruto, but was only too happy to help Hinata. But then no many people were ever very nice to Naruto, and she couldn't understand why. Even so, he never once let it bother him. Once they were on their way to Naruto's apartment to drop of the jutsu scrolls, Hinata decided to ask him about it. Naruto-kun, how can you stand the way people treat you? She asked timidly. Precious people, Naruto answered with a giant smile before continuing on. What do you mean? She asked curiously. Who really cares what everyone else thinks? I've got my precious people, and that is enough to make me happy, said Naruto. Hinata didn't quite understand but followed behind nonetheless. However, her mind was awhirl with this new information. The next few weeks progressed just as they were supposed. Lots of D-class missions and training with a side of complaining from Naruto. Hinata's perspective had improved greatly. For the first time in her life, she was truly enjoying herself. Working in the forge every morning was improving her strength rapidly. She was a sponge for medical information, and when her father found her with an anatomy scroll, he actually complimented her initiative for wanting to learn to make her gentle fist more effective. He even smiled at her. It was one of the best moments in her young life. Sasuke was still a bastard and did nothing to improve their teamwork, not surprising really. He had yet to activate his Sharingan, which was something of a sore spot for him when Naruto would taunt him about it. Naruto, though, simply thrived now that he made it to Genin. It was unfortunate, but unless you were a Genin you could not access the Shinobi Library's Jutsu scrolls. Sure, as a Genin he could only access C and D class Jutsu, but it built a solid foundation for Naruto to learn the more advanced stuff later. He made sure to learn A, D and C level fire, water, earth, and wind Jutsu. If more were available at that level and they were even a little useful, he made sure to learn them well. Naruto, though, never really let on in training as to how much he really knew. He also spent more time with Kakashi-san learning more about throwing weapons and throwing techniques. Kakashi even taught him a bit about using chakra strings with kunai and shuriken. As expected, Kakashi spent more time watching over Sasuke and concentrating on his training. But now that Naruto understood why, he didn't mind nearly as much as he once did. Even still, Kakashi taught them as a team more techniques that were useful. Kakashi also spent time working out strategies for them to use in combat, given that Sasuke would attack without regard to his teammates' safety. Naruto and Hinata spent a lot of time together training. They had become very good friends as a result. They worked hard to make their taijutsu work together in harmony and complement each other's style. Kakashi actually found himself having to get a bit more serious when he would train the pair in their team taijutsu. What's the date? Asked Naruto to Hinata as they were standing in front of the Hokage waiting for their mission assignment. The 5th, said Hinata clearly. She'd lost her stutter when speaking to Naruto some time ago. Already? He asked. Hinata nodded. Hey, old man, yelled Naruto to the Hokage, give us AC mission. Maybe escort duty or something. We need a challenge. Naruto, Genin all receive D missions until they have completed 15 missions before they get their first C mission, said the Hokage. We've done 16 D missions, said Naruto. Give us AC already? The Hokage checked his notes, and he found that Naruto was indeed correct. Naruto's team had been doing a lot of double mission days since they first started. So you have, said the Hokage before selecting AC rank mission scroll and tossing it to Naruto. It's just an escort mission to Wave Country. It'll probably be boring, but it'll get you out of my hair for a while, so I guess you can have it. Thanks, said Naruto with a grin. So, what are we escorting? Food supplies, workers, a shipment of rare and invaluable jewels that are wanted by an evil organization of super jewel thieving ninja? A bridge builder, said Kakashi. He couldn't help but laugh at Naruto's overactive imagination. That'll work, I guess, said Naruto with a small pout. Kids, you're assigning kids to guard me, said an old man that reeked of alcohol. A drunken old man? Questioned Naruto, observing the man. Who's the shorty? Asked the bridge builder. Uzumaki Naruto, future Hokage of Konoha, shouted Naruto. Who's asking? Tazuna, the super bridge builder. And I don't care what your future is, you're short, replied the old man before taking a long pull on his sake bottle. Can I kill him? Naruto asked to Kakashi while Sasuke just snorted arrogantly. If you did, we would fail the mission, said Kakashi simply. Fine, said Naruto, let's get going. Meet at the gates in an hour, said Kakashi. Bring some study material. We'll be spending a bit of time on guard duty while he finishes that bridge, and it is likely to be rather boring. Yes, sir, said Naruto as he and Hinata left. First, they went to Hinata's estate to collect the things she needed for the mission before they went to Naruto's to collect his things and some healing scrolls for Hinata. It wasn't much later that the pair was waiting at the gates for Sasuke and Kakashi to arrive with the bridge builder. Hinata, promise that no matter what happens you'll protect Tazuna. Never leave his side while we are traveling to Wave. It would be very easy for us to get distracted fighting bandits or something and leave the old man unprotected to get killed, said Naruto seriously. Of course, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. Just promise me you won't do anything too reckless. I promise, said Naruto. I never back down on my promises. That's our Nindo, said Hinata with a smile. This time Naruto just nodded and smiled. Finally the other arrived and they were off. It's only about a day's journey to my village. It is just on the border of Wave Country and Fire Country, explained Tazuna once they were out the gates. Naruto and Kakashi could both sense how nervous Tazuna was but didn't say anything. They walked on and passed by the same out-of-place water puddle that Naruto remembered. Kakashi could tell that Naruto spotted it but didn't say anything to him. He wanted to see two things. Were these shinobi after his team or Tazuna, and second he wanted to see how well his team reacted to the situation. The two exploded out of the water puddle and wrapped a long chain around Kakashi before ripping him to shreds. Hinata panicked for only a second before she saw through the illusion left by the Kawarimi. Naruto's words came back to her, and she immediately placed herself between the shinobi and Tazuna. Sasuke did what Sasuke does and attacked without thinking it through very carefully. He quickly disabled their cutting chain, and then went to work on just one of them, ignoring the other. Naruto watched calmly as everything happened. He honestly could have left the Uchiha bastard to get killed, but unfortunately, Naruto needed him until he became a Chunin. Once Sasuke had separated the fools, Naruto went after the other shinobi. Naruto simply defended himself until Kakashi decided to step in. After a minute, Naruto decided that Kakashi wasn't going to step in and dealt a massive blow to the gut of the ninja he was fighting, knocking him out instantly. Not very good, were they? Asked Kakashi from behind Naruto. He had the other demon brother under his arm. Not really, but better than regular genin. Good thing we're not normal, right? Kakashi actually laughed. Right you are. Well, we should tie them up here and leave them for the Hunter-nin, said Naruto as he began to tie the brothers to a tree. Well, at least know who they were really after, said Kakashi. For whatever reason, Kakashi seemed to treat Naruto more like an equal than as a student. It was mostly because Naruto was smart enough to understand even if he wasn't as strong as a jounin. Tazuna-san has some explaining to do, said Naruto as he finished the last knot. I can explain, said Tazuna as he launched into a long explanation about the Gato Trade Company and its strangling of Wave Country's economy. This mission is above sea level, said Kakashi addressing his team. It is likely Gato will send at least a jounin level missing nin next time. I can't force you all to take this mission, so I'll leave it up to you. We accepted the mission knowing this could happen, said Naruto. I say we finish what we've started. I'm scared, but I agree with Naruto, said Hinata with a stutter. We promised to protect Tazuna-san and we don't break our promises. That's our Nindo, said Naruto confidently. Sasuke? Questioned Kakashi. Sasuke grunted, which could only be interpreted as a yes. So be it, said Kakashi. But if a jounin does show up, protect Tazuna-san at all costs, and I will handle it. They all nodded while thinking the exact opposite except for Hinata, who had promised Naruto. Then let's move out, said Kakashi. Naruto hated mist, he really did. So when the super thick mist rolled in out of nowhere, they knew trouble was brewing. Down, yelled Kakashi. Naruto pulled Hinata and Tazuna to the ground hard just in time to dodge the massive blade that just flew over them. Naruto was upright and in a defensive position surrounding Tazuna. A copy, nin Kakashi, said the man standing on the massive blade which was now embedded in a tree. Zabuza, devil of the mist, said Kakashi, revealing his single Sharingan eye. Protect Tazuna-san, said Kakashi as he moved to engage the missing nin. It became a duel of Mizubunshin. Kakashi would destroy one just to be destroyed. They must have done this a dozen times before, as Naruto was expecting. Kakashi was kicked into the water and trapped in a water prison. Run, ordered Kakashi. Do you really think we'd leave you behind? Asked Naruto, especially after all that about those who leave behind their teammates being worse than trash. We're not leaving here without you. He's a bold one, said Zabuza with a laugh. Let's see how he fares against one of my Mizubunshin. Sasuke attacked first and as a result ended up pinned to the ground with one of Zabuza's feet crushing his ribcage. I suppose I should save the bastard, said Naruto to Hinata. Remember your promise. You too, said Hinata, taking up a solitary defensive position. She knew that there was at least one person hiding nearby watching them. She'd only caught a glance with her Byakugan before whoever it was disappeared. Naruto nodded before smiling. He made a single hand seal, gravity release. Naruto glowed purple for a moment. Now the fun shit starts. The real Zabuza wasn't sure what was really happening until Naruto suddenly vanished from sight, not even a dust trail signaling that he was moving. Suddenly Naruto appeared right in front of him, driving his now gloved fist into his stomach. He could feel thin blades cutting into his stomach and cutting upwards towards his lungs. He lost concentration right there, allowing the Mizu Bunshin to dissolve along with the water prison. He jumped away from the pair in shock as he saw blood on his hand from the gash in his stomach. The boy didn't even have visible claws on the glove's knuckles that he could see. Naruto was smirking confidently as Kakashi stood up next to him and shook a bit of water out of his hair. "Can I finish him, sensei?" asked Naruto excitedly. Kakashi wasn't too sure what to think of this Naruto. Any time he'd fought Naruto in the past, he was nowhere near this fast. Not only that, but it seemed as if his chakra reserves tripled without any help from the Kyuubi. "No, I'll handle this. I owe him." "You should worry about the other one trying to sneak up on Hinata," said Kakashi. "She's already seen him," said Naruto, "but you're the boss." Naruto vanished from the surface of the water. Haku was almost upon the bridge builder when he heard Kakashi talking about him. Panic suddenly set in. He had been discovered even though he was all but invisible in this fog. Naruto suddenly appeared beside him and delivered a bone-crushing backfist, shattering his mask and his nose. Then before he could react, he felt several small taps to different spots on his body. He couldn't move. His legs and arms were completely disabled. "Good job, Hinata," said Naruto. "I missed most of them," she said, slightly disappointed in herself. "So you hit enough that he won't be moving for a few days," said Naruto, proud of her accomplishment. "Besides, you've got to start somewhere. That wasn't bad for your first attempt." "Thank you, Naruto-kun," said Hinata. "Should I heal Uchiha-san?" "No, protect Tazuna until this fight is completely over," said Naruto, ending the discussion as he joined her in defending the old man. "What the hell is that boy?" asked Zabuza as he coughed up a bit of blood. "He's gifted," said Kakashi before he chuckled. "I didn't even know he was that fast. He's never shown me that kind of speed before." "So, he is your tool just as Haku was mine," said Zabuza. "I shall enjoy killing him once you're dead." Zabuza then sank into the water and vanished without a trace, leaving Haku behind. "You let him escape," yelled Naruto with a pout. "He'll be back. Besides, we have his tool," said Kakashi, looking at the tied-up boy. "Tool?" asked Naruto. "That's what Zabuza called the boy. You'll find that many people think of shinobi as only tools with no real value," explained Kakashi. "Where is Sasuke?" Naruto pointed to the unconscious lump. "I think he has a few broken limbs." "Can you heal him, Hinata?" asked Kakashi. "I don't know how to mend bones yet," said Hinata apologetically. "Don't worry about it then," said Kakashi. "Let's just get him somewhere he can rest and heal." "Yes, sensei," said Naruto and Hinata together before setting to work. A few hours later, Sasuke was taped up to support his damaged ribs, and resting well thanks to a sedative Hinata had made. In the interim, Kakashi was interrogating Haku, trying to gain whatever information he could from the boy, but he wasn't really talking much, to his annoyance. He wished Ibiki was there. "Any idea when we can expect Zabuza to attack?" asked Naruto once Kakashi returned. "I would guess as soon as he's healed. Nearest as I can tell, Haku is a medic nin, so Zabuza will have to heal himself, which could take a month," said Kakashi. "Unless Haku was to escape," said Naruto with a devious glint, "then we could expect him to attack in maybe a week or two." "Like if someone was to leave a glass of water unattended accidentally," said Kakashi. "Oh, Tsunami-chan," called Naruto. "Break. Can you do it, Tsunami-chan?" asked Naruto. "So just give him a drink and accidentally forget the water," said Tsunami. "Yes, but he has to believe that you didn't leave the water on purpose," said Kakashi. "If he suspects anything, he'll stay here and then we'll have no idea when Zabuza will attack." "He won't hurt you, Tsunami-chan," said Naruto. "Kakashi-sensei and I will be watching the entire time from an unseen location, okay?" Tsunami nodded. Anything to get this conflict ended. "Thank you, Tsunami-chan," said Naruto with a big smile. Tsunami stood and took the glass of water out to the shed where Haku was being held. "Hinata, watch her closely," instructed Kakashi with only a slight bit of worry showing in his voice. "She's in," said Hinata, watching carefully. "She's given him the water. She's talking with him now." She set the water on the crate next to her. "She's still talking. She's leaving." Tsunami entered the house moments later. Once she was inside, she fell back against the door, breathing heavily, trying to calm her nerves. "You did really good, Tsunami-chan," said Kakashi, comforting the shaken women. "He's making one-handed seal to change the water," said Hinata in disbelief. "He's got a blood limit," said Naruto angrily. "Shit, it's too late. We have to carry through with this plan," said Kakashi. "He's formed some sort of ice mirror and entered it. He gone. I couldn't even see him move." "Just another ice mirror and then another," explained Hinata. "He's much more dangerous than I originally thought," said Kakashi, "but not to worry. Now we can plan our counter-attack much more carefully." So for the next 2 weeks, Hinata and Naruto would act as Tazuna's shadow everywhere he went. It was the middle of the 3rd week that Zabuza attacked. It was a good day for it too, as Kakashi had accompanied them to the bridge that day. "So, Kakashi, you've come back for more," said Zabuza. "I'm sorry, but I'm not going to play today. I'm just going to kill you all." "Naruto, take care of Haku quickly just like we planned," ordered Kakashi. "Hinata, track Zabuza through the mist and tell me where I'm going." Naruto began to walk away from the group paralleled by Haku. "This one is between us," said Naruto. "No need to involve them." "One genius to another," said Haku. "I hate that term," said Naruto. "I refuse to call myself a genius. I am gifted, simple as that." "Fine then, but your gifts will not save you today," said Haku, vanishing in a blur of speed. Naruto easily ducked and dodged all of Haku's attacks, You're a bit on the slow side, Haku growled in frustration before he stared at a set of one-handed seals. Naruto was surrounded by ice mirrors. This little trick. I'm afraid I'm going to have to smash these mirrors. These mirrors are unbreakable except by my will, boasted an irritated Haku. Whatever, said Naruto as he pulled on his chakra gloves. Naruto let the chakra flow through his body, and even faster than Haku could move using his mirrors, Naruto shattered 2 of them to Haku's disbelief. Naruto vanished again, this time shattering 6 more of his mirrors. Running out of mirrors and you haven't even started attacking me yet, taunted Naruto before he attacked again, causing 3 more mirrors to shatter. At this point Haku only had 3 mirrors left, and not nearly enough chakra to rebuild all of his lost mirrors. Surrender or die, Haku, said Naruto. I understand that you only want to protect your precious person, but to him you are only a tool. Not even worthy of being called a comrade. He saved me, said Hake angrily as he finally attacked, even though Naruto easily dodged the attack. He saved you to use to his own ends, said Naruto. You don't have to be his tool to repay him. You've already repaid him 100 times over for all the times you've saved his life since. I will die if I must to protect him, said Haku, who was starting to get upset. Then you will die, and it will have been for nothing, for it will still not save his life. I know that true strength comes from protecting those you love, Haku. But sometimes, even that is not enough, said Naruto sadly. Naruto then heard the Chidori chirping like a 1,000 birds. Haku, Kakashi-sensei is about to kill Zabuza. If you interfere, I will have to kill you, said Naruto. Then you will have to kill me, screamed Haku in a strained voice as she jumped into a mirror try and saved Zabuza before it was too late. Naruto rushed down the bridge faster than Haku was able to and pushed the boy out of the way. Haku screamed like a girl at the sight of her dead master. Haku was enraged with grief and blurred from vision to appear behind Hinata and hold a kunai to her throat. You took my precious person, now I will take yours, said Haku threateningly. I'm sorry, Haku, said Naruto sadly as he looked to the bridge in pity. When he looked up again, he locked eyes with Haku, causing paralysis and making him completely unable to move. Naruto's eyes were blood red and animalistic. It was the killer intent that radiated from them that completely paralyzed Haku. Haku suddenly felt the world around him turn black and white. He was no longer holding Hinata prisoner. Instead he was in white marble hallway. Come this way, child, said voice at the end of the hall. Haku followed the voice to see a giant cage. The metal bars were wrapped in very intricate gold patterns. It looked very regal and of the highest quality. Haku finally asked, What is this? Where am I? Come inside, child. I will show you the way to freedom, said a deep voice from within the cage. Haku obeyed without thinking and entered the cage. Once he was inside the cage, he realized his mistake. Before him was a demon fox with 9 swaying tails. The fox bared its teeth menacing. A low rolling chuckle came from the demon. In the outside world, Haku dropped the kunai and grabbed his head, screaming and trying and then moving as if trying to fight off an invisible enemy. Large cuts and gashes began to manifest all over his body before finally his throat was slit and collapsed in a puddle of blood. Naruto sighed heavily before closing his eyes. When he opened them again, they were once again the normal vibrant blue. Naruto? Questioned Kakashi. What was that? A genjutsu, a forbidden one, said Naruto, soul of the slaying demon. Kakashi swallowed nervously. It was so similar to the Manjikyu Sharingan, but this one was able to inflict real wounds and damage upon the victim. Naruto then dropped to his knees, breathing heavily. Uses way too much chakra though. Hinata looked confused for a minute and also horrified that such a terrible genjutsu existed. Then her face changed to one of concern as Naruto dropped to his knees. Naruto-kun, said Hinata, worried. It's okay, Hinata, said Naruto. I just need a minute to regain my balance. Naruto, can that be used on anyone? Asked Kakashi. No, it relies heavily on the emotional state of the victim. Only if the victim is afraid or feeling a profound sense of loss will it work. Also, the target must have a weak will for it to be able to kill them, explained Naruto, breathing heavily. Well done, Naruto, said Kakashi. I guess we're lucky that worked. Are you okay, Hinata-san? Yes, sensei, said Hinata, just a small scratch. She then healed the small cut on her throat really quickly. With Zabuza and Haku both dead, the mist was now quickly clearing, revealing a rather large group of samurai thugs getting off of a Gata shipping company boat, all led by a short man in a cheap brown suit. Any suggestions? Asked Naruto when pointing to the thugs. Kill Gato and a dozen of the thugs, then the rest should retreat, said Kakashi, making a few quick hand seals created a dozen clones. Kill them, he ordered the clones, which then charged down the bridge, slicing through several samurai at once. Hinata, would you please collect Mr. Gato? Who? The man in the brown suit, said Kakashi, pointing at the fleeing man. Hinata nodded, slightly worried, but charged down the bridge anyway. She came back a few minutes later dragging a bleeding Gato. Hinata had apparently not been very gentle with the man. Here he is, Kakashi-sensei, said Hinata, letting go of the quivering, screaming lump of a man. Thank you, Hinata. Please take Naruto and Tazuna to safety. I'll clean up the rest of this mess, said Kakashi. Hinata did as he ordered, knowing full well that Kakashi was trying to protect her and Naruto from having to kill. Hinata, are you alright? Asked Naruto as soon as they were a safe distance. I'm fine, Naruto-kun, really, said Hinata as she checked him over for injuries. Are you? Perfect, said Naruto, just tired. What about Gato? Asked Tazuna. What is he doing with him? He's probably killing him, said Naruto. He attacked us in person leading that army of thugs. Standard operating procedure dictates that the leader of a non-shinobi army or group should be eliminated first to cause disorder among the ranks. Soldiers aren't taught to think for themselves like ninja are, so they won't know what to do with themselves. Gato is dead? Said Tazuna as if a dream had come true. Yes sir, said Naruto, or he will be soon. So this means you can finish the bridge without any difficulty, said Hinata looking to Tazuna. Yep, said Naruto, it also means that as soon as this bridge is built, we'll be able to go back home. Break. It was another month before the bridge was finished. Kakashi let them stay for the bridge opening festival. He also used it as an opportunity to catch Sasuke up on his training since he'd been injured. Naruto and Hinata enjoyed themselves. They helped out at the bridge a bit every day to help with their strength training. For the most part they avoided Sasuke like the plague despite Kakashi's futile attempts to get them to train together a bit. Naruto and Hinata both already knew the tree climbing exercise as well as water walking, so it was futile to get them to try learning it again alongside of Sasuke. Sasuke continued to isolate himself from the others, becoming more and more obsessed with his own strength. He was clearly becoming delusional, but there was little they could about it at this point other than try and keep him reined in a bit. Home at last, said Naruto when the giant gates to the village came into view. Hinata nodded and smiled. Sasuke, though, just snorted in disgust. Stay calm. Hinata cut off the confrontation that was no doubt brewing between Naruto and Sasuke. We'll be home in an hour, and then you don't have to see him for a few days, right, sensei? That's right, Hinata, said Kakashi, trying to help. The last few days, now that Sasuke was back to normal and getting special treatment from Kakashi, the tension between the pair had been growing to a boiling point, even more so when Sasuke activated his Sharingan at long last. Naruto huffed and walked a bit ahead of the group. Hinata never left his side the whole way. Stupid Uchiha bastard thinks he's so great, grumbled Naruto under his breath, though Hinata heard him clearly. Ignore the Uchiha bastard, Naruto-kun. You're better than he'll ever be, and you and I both know it, said Hinata, trying to cheer him up. It worked. Hinata, said Naruto in disbelief. Did you just call him Uchiha bastard? Hinata blushed slightly. It's your fault. I don't care whose fault it is. I'm really proud of you for calling him that. I'm not the only one to think so now, said Naruto. Thank you. You're welcome, Naruto-kun, said Hinata, blushing a bit. Naruto-kun? Yes, Naruto-kun. Why don't you ever call me Hinata-chan? She asked shyly. Most girls don't like when I say those kinds of things, he answered honestly. I would like it if you did, said Hinata, stuttering and blushing. Naruto smiled at the girl. Thank you, Hinata-chan. Hinata smiled so brightly at being called that by Naruto. It made her day and then some. Well, we'll meet up again in a few days, said Kakashi, leaving his team behind to file his report. Well, first I need to find Gai-sensei, said Naruto. You want to come with me, Hinata-chan? Hinata nodded. It was going to take her some time to get used to being called Hinata-chan by the object of her affection. Naruto found Gai ending his team's training day. Hey Gai-sensei, said Naruto with a wave. Hello, Naruto, shouted Gai. My other passionate student, welcome back from what must have been a most successful mission. It was, said Naruto. The Uchiha bastard got his ribs broken the first day out. It was the best our team has ever worked together with him incapacitated. Naruto, your passion is wonderful, but you must care greatly for your teammates, chided Lee out loud, and then when Gai was looking away, Lee whispered, I wish I could have been the ones to break his ribs. Naruto and Hinata both laughed at that. Finally, Neji and Tenten left, but not before Neji gave Hinata the evil eye. Once his back was turned, Hinata stuck her tongue out at him, causing Naruto and Lee both to laugh. So Naruto, my faithful student, what brings you here today? Well, I had to remove the gravity jutsu. Don't worry though, I only did it to protect Hinata and Kakashi-sensei, so I was hoping you could put it back on me, said Naruto. Gai smiled and gave Naruto his nice guy pose before agreeing happily. Excuse me, Gai-san, said Hinata boldly, could you maybe put it on me as well? Ah, the flames of youth burn brightly in Konoha, shouted Gai. Obviously, he agreed. Ah, but young flower, you must join us for our daily training exercises as well to completely fulfill the passion of your wondrous youth. But I have to be at a Kagachi's place in the morning, said Hinata sadly. So, go to a Kagachi's in the afternoon and train with us in the morning. Keep a few changes of clothes at my place, and then you just have to change before you go to a Kagachi's and again before you go home, said Naruto politely. I already store several of your scrolls there anyway. Some of your clothes wouldn't be a problem too. Hinata blushed furiously at the idea of changing her clothes in Naruto's apartment, or using his shower to clean up afterwards. But it did allow Hinata to get in all the training she wanted, plus it let her spend more time with Naruto. Okay, she mumbled weakly. Ah, the power of youth prevails once more, shouted Gai. Oh, Naruto-kun is such a kind and generous person. Truly he's more worthy of my rivalry than Neji is, said Lee. Naruto panicked for a moment. No, Lee, your rivalry must be between yourself, a genius of hard work, and a genius like Neji. I too am a genius of hard work, so we cannot be rivals. Oh, once more Naruto-kun saves me from making a horrible mistake. Thank you, Naruto-kun, shouted Lee. In the background, Gai was crying proudly of his students while Hinata just sweat dropped nervously. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, said Naruto, waving goodbye to his extra sensei and Lee. They are so weird, whispered Hinata once they were a safe distance away. I know, said Naruto, hanging his head, But there's no one in the village better with taijutsu and training that Mado guy. As long as we get stronger it will be worth it, said Hinata, steeling her resolve for what was to come. How about we get some ramen? Asked Naruto. Sure, said Hinata. Truthfully, she was getting tired of ramen, but as long as she got to spend more time with Naruto, she was happy. After ramen, they went to the store for Hinata to buy some clothes to keep at Naruto's apartment. This way there was less chance of her father becoming suspicious if she was suddenly missing clothing. Naruto waited outside while she did her shopping. He really didn't feel like getting asked to leave a shop while he was with Hinata. Later they dropped the stuff off at Naruto's apartment. Then they went by Kakachi's weaponsmith to inform him of Hinata's change in schedule, which of course he had no problem with it. After that they went to the library to get a few scrolls before Naruto finally walked Hinata back home. See you in the morning for training, said Naruto, waving goodbye. Hinata had hoped that maybe he would have done something more. After all, they were both 13 and that kind of thing was acceptable for their age. In the end she was disappointed, but then she wasn't in any hurry as long as she got him in the end. The next weeks fell into a routine of training and more training with the occasional mission thrown in for variety. And each night Naruto walked Hinata home, and each night Hinata hoped for something that just didn't happen. Okay team, said Kakashi, starting the meeting. He didn't really agree with the Hokage's decision, but at the same time he didn't want to hold back any of his students. I've decided to nominate you for the Chunin exams that start in 2 weeks. You'll have that time off to yourself to train and think about whether or not you want to take the exam. If you want to take the test, you have show up here on the test day. Kakashi handed them each an entrance form. Thank you, Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto. He was truly surprised. He hadn't expected Kakashi to nominate them this time with how poor their teamwork was. On the other hand, their teamwork was bad the first time too. Then it occurred to Naruto that this was just another attempt to get the Uchiha bastard to stay. Well, see you, said Kakashi as he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Sasuke just stalked away, probably to meet Kakashi in some secret training location to prepare for the exam. What do you think, Hinata-chan? Asked Naruto. I will if you're going, said Hinata. However, Naruto got a sour look on his face. No, then don't come, said Naruto. I don't want you to come if you're coming for me. I want you to take the exam for yourself or not at all. You're ready for this, Hinata, but if you don't think you are, then there is no point in you going. Think about it carefully. If you want to take the exam because you want to, then I'll see you tomorrow morning for training. Guy-sensei is going to start prepping me and leave for the exam then. Naruto then left Hinata standing alone in the training field with a lot to think about. Hinata had never heard Naruto speak to her like that. He was almost mean to her, if not angry with her decision. But he was right. She would have taken the exam for him, and not because she wanted to. So the question was, did she want to take the exam? She would be pushed farther than she ever had been before. If she went through with it, and was successful, she would have impressed her father a lot, and maybe it would have been a start towards changing her clan at least a little bit at a time. Naruto would have been really proud of her if she chose to take this exam because she wanted to take it and not for him. It would be really dangerous, and she may have been killed. But then she might have been killed in the mission to Wave Country, but she came out of it fine because she trusted her sensei and one of her teammates just as they trusted her. She was very successful in that mission personally, as she had executed her duties perfectly. Yes, I will take this exam because I want to pass. I want to prove that I am not the dead last. I want to prove to myself that I can be a great shinobi, said Hinata out loud and clear to the empty training field. Break. Naruto left Hinata alone in that field. He truly wanted Hinata to take the test with him, but he knew that she needed to do this because she wanted to, not because he asked her to. Naruto walked aimlessly through the town before he finally noticed the square rock following him. With a sigh, he turned and threw the blunt end of a kunai at the box, scaring the kids inside half to death, making Naruto laugh hysterically. Ha, just as I'd expect from my rival, shouted Konohamaru as he pointed Naruto. Sorry about that, Konohamaru, but you really need to work on your camouflage techniques, said Naruto, rubbing the kid's head in a friendly way. Leader, will you play ninja with us? Asked Konohamaru with a big grin showing his recently lost tooth. Alright, but only for a little bit, said Naruto. I've got more training to do today. Thank you, Naruto-nikin, shouted Konohamaru as he, Moegi and Udan ran ahead of him, and he gave chase. Konohamaru was stopped short when he ran into someone wearing a black jumpsuit and face paint. Naruto found Konohamaru lift in the air by his shirt by the foreign shinobi. Put him down please, said Naruto politely. This ran into me, said Kankuro. I'm going to punish him. Maybe I'll only take a finger. Naruto yawned. Go for it. You'll not only be executed by the ANBU circling us, and you'll cause an international incident between Suna and Konoha. With the peace treaty as strained as it is, do you really think that's a wise decision? Kankuro was suddenly looking around for the hidden ANBU but saw nothing. Then not very confidently he said, Ha, you're bluffing. Why would ANBU care about this little runt? They don't, said Naruto. As standard protocol, one ANBU is assigned to every foreign test applicant during the Chunin exams to protect the citizens. Naruto was bluffing, but Kankuro had no way to know that. Kankuro dropped the kid. Fine, I was just playing with him anyway. You can tell Shikaku to stop hiding now too, said Naruto once Konohamaru and his friends ran away. Kankuro and Temari both just froze in place, eyes wide with terror. In a whirl of sand, Gaara appeared in front of Naruto. Hello Shikaku, or are you just a vessel, said Naruto. I am a vessel, said Gaara. Ah yes, I can see that now. Your seal though is incomplete. Shikaku must be driving you mad. Not letting you sleep and all of that, said Naruto. How can you know such things? Gaara asked. You're not the only demon vessel, whispered Naruto in Gaara's ear. Gaara's eyes widened in surprise and maybe even a little fear. Want to join me for some ramen? Offered Naruto to Gaara. Gaara nodded though he wasn't sure exactly what ramen was. Naruto led him through town to Ichiraku. 2 large miso ramen please, Naruto called to the shop owner. Coming up Naruto, said the shop owner. I walked over to say hello. Hey Naruto-kun, new friend? This is, you know what, I never got his name, said Naruto. Gaara, said the boy. Nice to meet you Gaara, I'm Naruto, he said in reply. Nice to meet you Gaara-kun, I am, she said with a friendly smile before she got back to work. Do these people know what you are? Asked Gaara. Yes, all of the adults do, said Naruto. Most of them hate me. Some have tried to kill me. But there are a few that see me for me. They are my precious people and I would do anything to protect them. That's true strength. Gaara looked concentrated for a moment. You're wrong. True strength comes from fighting only for yourself. Naruto shook his head exasperatedly. It's that damn demon logic. Think about it for a minute if you can tune out that crazy priest. How did our demons get sealed away in the first place? It wasn't because someone wanted to beat them for their own sake. They were sealed away by people who wanted to protect others from the danger that demons present to humans. When a human or even a demon is protecting something precious to them, they will do anything, even die, to protect those precious things. How do you know? Because I've felt it before. I've never been stronger than when I've been putting my life on the line to protect someone precious to me. I would put my life on the line to protect this village, and because of that I'm stronger than the demon sealed in me could ever be, said Naruto before he dug into his first bowl of ramen. I don't know why, but Kyuubi just loves this stuff and I can't say as I blame him. It's damn good. Gaara was deep in thought, but at Naruto's words he tasted the ramen. He could hear Shikaka singing in joy at the taste of the stuff. Shikaka likes it as well, said Gaara as he ate it. I like it too. Across the street from the ramen shop 3 Sunanines watched the pair sitting and talking while eating. Then Gaara even smiled, but not in an I'm going to crush with my sand and feed you to my mother kind of way. What the hell is going on you two? Asked Baki. I don't know, said Tamari. That blonde boy knew that Gaara was hiding and he didn't call him Gaara. He called him Shikaku. They talked and then the blonde whispered something Gaara's ear. After that the blonde invited him for ramen and now they are there talking. It's almost like they are old friends. I thought Gaara was uncontrollable, said Baki. It almost seemed like Gaara was scared after the blonde whispered in his ear, said Kankuro. That's nonsense. Nothing scares a demon, said Baki. Except a stronger demon, said a voice from behind them. The 3 turned around to see a silver-haired jounin with only one visible eye who waved hello before walking past them and into the ramen stand to sit with Naruto and Gaara. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, shouted Naruto on seeing him. This is my new friend Gaara. He's just like me. That's nice Naruto, said Kakashi. It's always good to form such strong bonds with our allies. Gaara, this is my sensei, Kakashi, said Naruto with a smile at the redhead. Pleased to meet you sir, said Gaara formally. He was currently filled with so many conflicting thoughts and emotions. Hey Gaara? Asked Naruto. Yes, Naruto, said Gaara. Do you maybe want to get your seal fixed? Asked Naruto hopefully. Gaara shot up looking at Naruto in disbelief. Is that even possible? Of course, said Naruto looking to Kakashi. I think so, but the Kazekage would have to agree, said Kakashi. I don't know if I have the skills to fix it, but I'm sure the Hokage could, or maybe Jiraiya-sama could. I do not believe my father would allow you to tamper with my seal. If we are going to do this, it would have to be in secret, said Gaara disappointedly. Well, Kakashi-sensei may be above that but I'm not, said Naruto with a grin. Naruto, that is not wise, said Kakashi warningly. Yeah, said Naruto clearly ignoring him. Well, if I can't talk you out of this I better make sure you don't make it worse, said Kakashi with a grin under his mask. Naruto smiled. Then we'll do it tomorrow night if you're up for it. Gaara nodded. Will it affect my control over the sand? Not at all. It will just keep the demon out of your head, said Naruto. I know just the seal to use too. It was created by the Yamanaka clan to protect themselves 100 years ago in order to keep other members of their clan out of their heads. The problem with it is that it caused sterility because it was too strong for just blocking humans. It was also the reason there are only 2 remaining shinobi with Yamanaka blood in their veins. However, if I make a few alterations it should work perfectly against the demon without that particular side effect. Kakashi was shocked. Naruto was thinking of exactly the same seal as he was. He was even more surprised by the fact that Naruto knew the seal even existed. That didn't even broach the thought that Naruto might know how to alter the seal correctly to do that. But then Kakashi remembered the chakra fang that Naruto made, seals and all. Naruto, said Kakashi, how is it you know so much about seals? Well, when I first met the furball I worried he may try to escape or break out, so I wanted to learn more about my seal. Once I learned about that I found the subject so interested I dug into it even further, and then when I started make chakra weapons I had to learn even more about sealing, explained Naruto rapidly. There's so much you can do with seals. How do you think demons enter our world anyway? They are summoned using thousands of human sacrifices and millions of seals that would take several lifetimes to create. That's how the great cataclysm came about that nearly destroyed the world. Once demons entered this world, chakra expanded and entered into humans, causing an evolution of sorts. The exposure of humans to demons have changed all of us over time so that we can do the extraordinary feats we're due. QB told me that when he was first brought into this world, their cities filled with millions of people that lived in buildings 100 floors tall, or more in some places. Soon it became a war to see which nation could summon the strongest demon in a war. The cities were destroyed and billions died. The entire world changed in a matter of years. The problem was that once the demons were brought to this world, there was no way to send them back. It was only a matter of time before the ones controlling the different demons were killed and the demons were free to do whatever they please. However, as humans have become more powerful, carrying lots of chakra, the demons have been slowly subdued and sealed so that now when the containers die, the demons will leave this world never to return, and eventually there will be no more demons. Kakashi was stunned by the story Naruto just told him. Shikaka said that he was the first of the 9 greater demons summoned to this world. Each that came after were stronger until the last, Kyuubi, was summoned. Not long after Kyuubi came, the world was ripped apart by uncontrollable demons. Some of the lost technology survived that we use every day: electricity, telephones, radios, refrigerators, and few other things we take for granted. Shikaka just filled in the blanks for me, said Gaara when he saw their bewildered expressions. We humans must reap what we sow and eventually we'll recover from our mistakes of the past, said Naruto in a sage-like voice. Kakashi was flabbergasted. He just learned so much history that, probably, no one anywhere knew. Wow, yep, pretty much, said Naruto. Kyuubi just told me all of that as I related to you. He never told me that before. Naruto, does Kyuubi know the process to summon more demons to this world? Asked Kakashi fearfully. Not a clue, said Naruto. The summoning process always destroys the seal patterns and no demon ever witnessed another demon being summoned. That's good, said Kakashi, more than a little bit relieved. Anyway, I'm sure your teammates and instructors are chomping at the bit to find out what we've been talking about, said Naruto, pointing out the back of the shop at the 3 Sunanins, whispering conspiratorially. I suppose I should, said Gaara. I will meet you tomorrow night. Meet us on top of the Hokage monument, said Naruto, pointing to Sandaime. Gaara nodded and left the pair. Naruto and Kakashi watched as the other Sunanins tried to question him, but he just ignored them and walked away. He was a unique character, said Kakashi. Yeah, but I like him, said Naruto. If we can get that crazy badger in his head to shut up and let him sleep occasionally, he'll be much happier. Why don't you and I go to the library and make sure we are fully prepared with the right seals and procedures, said Kakashi, paying for their noodles. Thanks, said Naruto with a big smile. Break. Naruto and Kakashi were preparing the sealing circle while they were waiting for Gaara to arrive. They found the exact seal they needed to protect Gaara's mind, and with a few minor tweaks it would be strong enough to block out the demon, yet not have any nasty physical side effects like impotency. Gaara arrived as promised. Hey Gaara, Naruto greeted him. We're almost ready here. Just give us a few more minutes. Gaara nodded and watched diligently as the pair prepared all the proper seals. In Naruto's mind, Kyuubi was checking over each of the seals as well. This looks about right, said Kakashi as he stopped marking seals. Naruto checked it over one last time. It's perfect. Ready, Gaara? Gaara nodded. He could hear Shikaka panicking, his mind which told the little bit of rational mind he had left that this would work. Just sit in the center, and don't touch any of the seals or lines, said Kakashi. Gaara sat. Kakashi joined him the center. Take off your shirt, please. Gaara took off his shirt, revealing several small seals that were obviously meant to hold Shikaku in. Kakashi pulled out his fang and Gaara's sand grabbed Kakashi's wrist. I'm not going to hurt you, Gaara. I need to shave the hair off your neck and the bottom of your head, said Kakashi. I'll do it, said Gaara, taking the fang from him. He knew his sand would not allow Kakashi to touch him, and it would fight him along the way anyway. Gaara carefully shaved the hair from where Kakashi told him to. That's good, Gaara, said Kakashi, taking his fang back, putting it away, reassuring Kakashi that they weren't trying to kill him like Shikaka kept trying to warn him. I need to draw a seal on your neck and head, said Kakashi. Is your sand going to protest? A bit, but I will try to control him long enough for you to finish, said Gaara. Kakashi rapidly inked the seal on his head and neck and then leapt out of the circle. This might hurt a bit, Gaara, but it won't take long, I promise, said Naruto with a grimace. Ready, Naruto? Asked Kakashi as he took up position on the sealing circle. Naruto nodded as he started making hand seals at the same time as Kakashi until they both slammed their hands into the seal and filling it with chakra. Slowly the seal collapsed in on itself as each layer of the seal attached to Gaara. Gaara grimaced in pain, but it wasn't too bad as he thought it could be. Almost done, Gaara. Just hold on a bit longer, said Naruto encouragingly. A few minutes later that last layer of the seal completed, and it was over. There, not so bad, said Naruto to Gaara, whose eyes were drooping heavily. Sleepy, said Gaara before his eyes closed and sleep claimed him. Better though was that Shikaka did not come out or bother him in the slightest as he slept peacefully for the first time in his life. What should we do with him now? Naruto asked Kakashi. Take him to your apartment and let him sleep it off, said Kakashi. He'll probably be out for a few days, so just leave him on your couch. Fine, said Naruto grudgingly as he lifted Gaara and carried him across town to his apartment. The next morning Naruto was out early for his training as usually. Gaara's brother and sister asked him a few times over the next week if he'd seen Gaara, to which he feigned ignorance. Gaara finally woke up 2 days before the exam was set to begin. He woke up with a big yawn. For the first time ever he felt well rested. As he looked around he didn't recognize his surroundings. It was then that the door opened to reveal a girl with blue hair and clear eyes. "Oh, Gaara-san, you've awoken. Naruto-kun will be so pleased," said the girl. "Who are you?" he asked. "Hyuga Hinata. I'm one of Naruto's teammates," she said. "I'm just going to shower and change before I head home. Naruto should be at the ramen stand if you'd like to join him." The girl then collected a few things from around the apartment before she entered the bathroom. Gaara stood and stretched before he left the apartment to find Naruto. It was quite odd now for him not to hear a voice constantly telling him to kill everything that moved. He was actually thankful for it. Gaara found Naruto at the same ramen stand. "Gaara, you're awake." "It's about damn time," said Naruto as he motioned for another bowl for Gaara. Gaara sat down and happily gorged himself on the noodles. He actually gave Naruto a run for his money. "Alright, now that that's done, it's time to put you to the test," said Naruto. "Come on, we'll head out to one of the training grounds." Gaara followed Naruto across the rooftops. It was one of the first time that Gaara could remember being able to travel using his own strength, and not getting tired and having to use his sand. Because he never got to sleep, his muscles were always fatigued, and he always had to rely on the sand. Eventually they landed in a deserted training field. "Alright, now as far as Kakashi-sensei, and I can tell the ceiling went perfectly. He asked me to help you make sure of that. We want to make sure there is no delay in your sand control or anything like that." Gaara nodded and took command of his sand and moved it about just as easily as before, but without the voice telling him to kill. "Seems okay." "Good, then let's have a spar," said Naruto, charging into attack. Gaara's sand reacted as usual but was surprised when Naruto was still able to penetrate his defenses. "Don't forget, I have my own demon," said Naruto. "I can break through that defense of yours, so you're actually going to have to fight and move on your own." Gaara nodded. This would be a first for him. Naruto and Gaara sparred for a long while that day. Naruto even took the time to teach Gaara some basic taijutsu moves. "You can't always rely on your sand, Gaara," said Naruto. "There's a taijutsu user in this village who is stronger than me, even with Kyuubi giving me a boost. You need to become a more well-balanced shinobi. Now you have a good chance to do so." "Naruto," said Gaara with a slightly worried look, "my village is planning to attack Konoha in a surprise attack with Orochimaru's Otonin," finished Naruto. "You know?" asked Gaara. "What will come," said Naruto with a friendly smile. "The question is, what are you going to do when it does come?" "I would like to fight by your side," said Gaara. "You are my first friend, probably my only friend." "Then defect from sand and join us," said Naruto. "I've heard things about your father and what he's done to you. You'd be welcome here, and things like that would never happen here. You'd be able to start again fresh here." "Do you think your Hokage would do that?" asked Gaara. "Yes, he would," said Naruto. "But you're going to have to act the part of a Chunin until the attack begins." "I would need to inform him then in secret," said Gaara. Naruto smiled and raised an arm to signal someone. The Hokage then appeared next to Naruto. "Naruto-kun, nice to see you again," said the old man, "and nice to meet you at last, Gaara-san." "Hey old man, you spying on our training?" asked Naruto with a big smile. "Not at all, just checking in as I do sometimes," said the Hokage. "Anyway, it's a good thing you just happened by," said Naruto. "Gaara wanted to talk to you about something." "Oh, do tell," said the Hokage, smiling pleasantly towards Gaara. "I would like to become an Konoha shinobi and fight by Naruto's side," said Gaara. "I see," said the Hokage. "Suna and Oto plan to attack during the finals," said Gaara. "I don't want to betray the one place that has treated me like a human and not a monster. Please let me stay." "Of course," said the Hokage. "However, you will have to be tested. We will be watching during the exams. You must not kill a single leaf shinobi or cause permanent injury to one. Second, you must act the part of a Chunin until the attack begins. Once you have dropped your Suna Hittite and replaced with this, I will consider you an official leaf nin." Gaara accepted the Hittite with a reverence. "I will honor this bond, Hokage-sama." Gaara then bowed deeply before having his sand gourd suck in the forehead protector to hide it. "Naruto, am I to assume that you and Hinata-san would like to exchange the Uchiha for Gaara-san?" Naruto looked like a miracle had just been granted to him. "Yes." He then started jumping around in celebration. "Well, after this exam, Uchiha will be a Chunin and moved into Hunter Nin training," said the Hokage. "It will eliminate the weakness he's created with this team and give him a goal to work towards." "Are you serious?" asked Naruto. He was torn between being pissed off that the Uchiha was getting favoritism again and joy at the thought of him getting his ass kicked in the Hunter Nin division, maybe even killed by a missing nin. "Quite," said the Hokage. "Hunter Nins usually hunt in teams, but occasionally we'll have a lone hunter who has suffered some tragedy in the past and has sworn to become an avenger. Actually, you'd be surprised at how often that happens." The old man chuckled. "But what if me and Hinata and Gaara all pass the exam?" asked Naruto. "You won't," said the Hokage. "It is not that you're not capable, Naruto. But once you become a Chunin, you have far less time for training. Training that you will desperately need in the future if you're planning to take my job someday." "Really?" asked Naruto. "But I thought, Naruto, the only rookie genin other than the Uchiha that might be promoted is Nara Shikamaru. I know he is really lazy and I have no intention of sending him on missions as a Chunin. However, in order for him to work as a strategist, he must have Chunin rank. With this upcoming war with Otogekure and Sunagekure, we will need his skills. Also, if he is not at least Chunin, it will be harder for him to exert his authority. Anyway, enough of this political stuff. How is your training going? Really well. Gai-sensei may be completely insane, but he knows how to train great shinobi if they are willing to listen to him. Unfortunately, I'm running out of scrolls to learn from in the library. I would like access to the Chunin level scrolls if possible. Hinata and I have nearly flawless teamwork and I'm really looking forward to bringing Gaara in as well, said Naruto rapidly once more. The Hokage chuckled lightly. I'll be sure to get you access to the Chunin scroll before the finals begin. I'm glad that Gai-sen has been able to help you. Anyway, I'll leave you and Gaara to your fun. Good luck with the exams, Naruto. Then the Hokage just vanished. Naruto, said Gaara, how did you know? I had a hunch you'd be like me, said Naruto. Besides, if you didn't ask I would have asked you. Thanks, said Gaara. No problem, said Naruto with a grin. I think we should call it a day. Besides, your brother and sister are probably going crazy with worry. Gaara nodded. I'll see you later. Naruto ran off waving while Gaara just vanished in a whirl of sand. Break. Finally, yelled Naruto outside the building. It's test time. Hinata giggled at Naruto's antics. He had yet to tell her about Gaara and wanted for it to be a surprise when he did tell her. Sasuke of course ignored them both and went straight into the building. Asshole, mumbled Naruto. I know, said Hinata trying to placate him a bit. Naruto smiled at her. We'd better follow him before he does something stupid. Too late, said Hinata with her Byakugan activated. Great, said Naruto as he entered to see Sasuke picking a fight with the two Chunin planted to stir up trouble. Naruto decided to ignore him and walk past the whole scene straight to the third floor. He'd already warned Lee not to mess with Sasuke now that he had his Sharingan eye or he would copy his moves. Naruto and Hinata had to wait on Sasuke to arrive. Apparently his pride was wounded because he was in an even fouler mood than before. You two had better not hold me back, said Sasuke as he entered the room. Asshole. This time it was Hinata muttering under her breath, causing Naruto to smile brightly at her. Hinata, whispered Naruto, before we go in, I need to warn you to avoid a leaf shinobi named Kabuto. He may seem really nice but he's actually an Oto spy. Hinata seemed surprised but nodded her understanding. And remember, no matter what the consequences, don't give up, said Naruto. That's our Nindo, right? Right, said Hinata fiercely. Now let's go have fun torturing the other genin, said Naruto with a grin that Hinata matched. Naruto man, long time no see buddy, said Kiba as soon as Naruto and Hinata entered. Arf, barked Akamaru. Hello to you too, Kiba and Akamaru, said Naruto. Hello Kiba-san, Akamaru-chan, said Hinata with a small giggle after Akamaru growled at her. Hinata, you're not stuttering, said Kiba in shock. I know, said Hinata with a smile. You're smiling too, said Kiba. Who are you and what have you done with Hinata? Hinata laughed out loud at that. It's still me, Kiba. I've just come out of my shell a bit. A bit? Questioned Shikamaru, who had joined them along with Choji, Ino, and Shino. Okay, a lot, said Hinata. You have to if you're going to control Naruto around the Uchiha bastard. At that the whole group laughed. You've definitely spent too much time with Naruto, said Ino. Where's Sasuke-kun at anyway? The Uchiha bastard is over there being fawned over by Sakura, said Naruto pointing toward the wall. Big forehead, yelled Ino as she stomped over there to fight for Sasuke's attention. You know she only does that to irritate Sakura? Asked Hinata to Shikamaru, who had developed a slight twitch. What are you talking about? Asked Shikamaru. Ino-sen doesn't like Sasuke anymore. She just does that to annoy Sakura-san, said Hinata. Women are too troublesome to understand, he sighed. Yeah, but they sure as hell understand us, said Naruto, except for maybe Sasuke. I think he might be gay but I'm not certain. He is, said Shino out of the blue. Now how do you know that? Asked Kiba. I caught him checking out that Lee kids but in that green spandex, said Shino. No way, said the group at once. I don't know if he likes Lee, but he was definitely drooling a bit, said Shino. Oh, now that's not right, said Naruto with a shiver. So he might have been checking me out when I was around him? I feel so dirty and cheap and just used. Hinata rubbed his shoulder. It's okay, Naruto-kun. Hold me, said Naruto jokingly, hugging Hinata, which she happily accepted but laughed with the other and Naruto when the hug broke. This is just too weird for me, said Kiba. Hinata is laughing, smiling, joking, and talking without a stutter. Whatever happened to the super cute, unbelievably shy girl I used to have a crush on? Naruto-kun, said Hinata, simply getting a laugh from the group. So are you two together now? Asked Ino, who had rejoined the group. At that Naruto and Hinata both blushed uncontrollably. We're friends, said Naruto. Best friends. Ino gave them both a look. Right, if you say so. Choji then whispered to Shikamaru. Do you think they'll ever figure it out? Hinata has but Naruto is still clueless, said Shikamaru. You rookies should quiet down, said the voice of a silver-haired leaf shinobi. Naruto gave him one look and snort. Go away, Kabuto. The silver-haired man seemed surprised. Have we met? Asked Kabuto. Not officially, said Naruto. I've heard of you though, skilled enough in medic nin techniques to be a jounin but still a genin after 7 attempts. And not because you failed but because you quit. I don't trust you, so stay the hell away from me and my friends or I'll kill you. The group was shocked, and so was the silver-haired teen. How do you know that? I pay attention to the Chunin exam results, said Naruto. They are recorded as a matter of public record and displayed as well as sent to every participating village. It helps too that I hear things because most people ignore my presence. Who are you exactly? asked Kabuto. Your worst nightmare if you don't go away right now. Your blood limit won't help either by the time I'm through with you. No, go away, ordered Naruto, trying his hardest to keep Kyuubi's chakra under control. Naruto then looked at his friends. Don't use any names around him. He has a technique that he can use to acquire all of you information and jutsu knowledge if he knows your name. The other just nodded, keeping to mild chit-chat until Kabuto left. Naruto could feel the controlled killer intent radiating from Kabuto after Naruto completely thwarted his plans. Without names he can't properly identify the person. It is one of the requirements of his information jutsu to work. He spotted Sasuke and was about to start questioning him when the examiner entered the room. Sit down, you damn bastards, the man ordered. Chill out, Ibiki-san, said Naruto, completely deflating the tension in the room. One more word out of you, brat, and we're going to have a nice long chat in my office, said Ibiki. Naruto knew that Ibiki had already been ordered not to use any names, so it wasn't an issue. Naruto pouted at the man but took a seat. Each of you will come up and get a test paper and then sit in the seat listed on the paper, said Ibiki. All the students collected their papers and sat in their required seats. Naruto was now thanking Kyuubi for all those lessons on cheating he'd received in the academy. He managed to steal all the answers from those around him in no time at all. Finally the 10th question came and Naruto didn't even blink. He just stayed seated while several of the students just stood and left. Hinata remembered Naruto's instructions about not giving up no matter the consequences and didn't move an inch. Now for those of you still here, congratulations, you all passed this test, said Ibiki. But what was the point of answering all the questions then? Asked Tamari. The tests will still be scored and affect the judge's final decisions. However, sometimes being a ninja is about being willing to risk everything on a single factor. Lecture Ibiki. A ninja who is not willing to put it all on the line isn't worthy of being called a ninja or a chunin. It was then that Anko burst through the windows, cutting off the rest of Ibiki's speech. Not bad, Ibiki, said Anko. Only 54 left. Don't worry though. By the time I'm done there will be less than half left. Everyone follow me. A few minutes later Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke were waiting outside the Forest of Death. Listen up, brats. This is Area 44, lovingly called the Forest of Death. You'll be living in here for the next 5 days. Your goal is to acquire a pair of these scrolls any way possible. You'll be graded on speed, accuracy, style, and any extra scrolls you may have acquired. You'll all have to sign one of these first, as there will be deaths in this one, and we don't want Konoha to be liable if one of you end up dead, explained Anko. Crazy woman, said Naruto under his breath, knowing it would be heard. Anko threw a kunai at him, cutting his cheek ever so slightly. His acting was perfect, even when Anko licked the blood off his cheek from behind him. He was just waiting for the snake freak to threaten Anko. I think you dropped this, said the woman with her tongue holding the kunai. Anko had a second kunai pointing between the woman's legs. Naruto though just smirked as he vanished from Anko's grasp. Faster than most of the genin could track, Naruto had severed the freak's tongue. The woman screeched in pain, soon dropping all pretenses and ripping his mask off to reveal Orochimaru. I'm going to get you for that, brat. I would not advise that, Orochimaru, said Sarutobi from behind him. Orochimaru looked around in panic. Inbyu surrounded the forest area and the Hokage was dressed in battle gear. Ku, laughed Orochimaru. Sarutobi-sensei, I'm impressed. I don't know how you saw through my ploy so quickly. You are a genius, Orochimaru. Geniuses are generally overconfident in their abilities and make several mistakes along the way, said Sarutobi. Your first mistake was deciding to betray the village. Your second mistake was not destroying the bodies of the grass genin you killed. Very good, Sarutobi-sensei, said Orochimaru before he melted into mud. When he had the chance to switch places with a mud clone, no one was sure. It had to have been after Naruto cut off part of his tongue, but before the ANBU appeared. The Sound Village is hereby disqualified this exam, and all future exams until further notice. ANBU, arrest the Yoroi brother and Yakushi Kabuto for espionage and betrayal, ordered the Hokage. The Yoroi brothers were taken easily, but Kabuto also dissolved into mud. We've not heard the last of this, said the ANBU captain to the Hokage. Indeed not, said the Hokage. You have your assignment. Anko, please resume this exam. To the visiting genin, I apologize for the delay and this little scene. Good luck with the exam. Anko nodded. Right then, sign this and we'll get you inside so you can start killing each other. Eventually Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke got their scroll and gate assignment. So what's the plan, Naruto-kun? Asked Hinata. We get to the tower as fast as possible and prepare an ambush for the first team to arrive with the scroll we require. Orders from the Hokage though say we're to avoid the sand team, but everyone else is fair game, said Naruto. Why don't we just use Hinata's Byakugan to find a team with the scroll we want and attack them? Asked Sasuke, always looking for a fight. Look, we can still use Hinata's Byakugan to pick our target, but if we set up a proper ambush, we can avoid unnecessary fighting. Plus once we're inside the tower we can't be touched by other teams, explained Naruto. Fine, whatever, said Sasuke turning to the gate. So we're going to be moving fast, said Naruto to Sasuke. Try to keep up, would you? That pissed Sasuke off. He was about to hit Naruto when the gate opened and Naruto and Hinata ran through it, and took to the treetops, moving quickly with Hinata's Byakugan active so they could avoid teams and genjutsu traps along the way. It only took the 2 hours to get to the central tower. As soon as they arrived they started laying out traps and preparing the ambush. Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke all set the traps up to activate using chakra strings, so they were able to let the sand team pass untouched despite Sasuke's protests. Finally, a team from the village of Hidden Rain walked right into their trap carrying both scrolls. Naruto and Hinata sprung their traps in perfect timing with their arrival, pushing them all right in place for Sasuke to set off his traps to finish them off. "You overdid it a bit, Sasuke," said Naruto, looking at the bloody mess of bodies. "I hope the scrolls are recoverable." Hinata? She looked pale from the sight of so much blood, but she located the scrolls. "They're fine." "Look under that leg for his pouch." Naruto kicked the severed leg aside and picked up the bloody pouch and pulled out both scrolls. "Okay, so now it's a committee vote," said Naruto. "The more teams we eliminate, the less we'll have to fight later. However, we put ourselves at further risk when we could just end this exam now, still ahead of the game." "We're ahead," said Hinata. "I say we just end it now." "Uchiha bastard?" asked Naruto. "I say we get more scrolls and eliminate as much competition as possible," said Sasuke. "I agree with Hinata. I say we end this now while we're ahead and enjoy the 4 days inside the tower relaxing," said Naruto, ending the discussion. Inside, they were greeted by Irika. They received their time score and were notified that they were the second team to arrive, and only an hour after the sand team. They received bonus points for the extra scroll, though they weren't told how many points they were awarded. "Break. How the hell did they know I was there?" demanded a very pissed off Orochimaru to Kabuto. "I don't know, Orochimaru-sama," said Kabuto. "I still can't understand how they found out I was a spy." "Who was that brat?" demanded Orochimaru. "I never heard his name. When I went to talk to him before the exam started, he knew too much about me. He knew my history with the exam and my skill level. He even knew about my old blood healing ability. He even knew how my nin card jutsu worked with the name requirement, so he warned off all of his friends to not say their names around me. Some of them I knew, but most I did not. I did not know who the Uchiha's teammates were either," said Kabuto, equally angry. "When we attack, I want that kid's head on a platter," demanded Orochimaru. "Gar-san will take care of it," said Kabuto. "I will see to it." "Everything is in order with sand?" asked Orochimaru. "Yes, sir," said Kabuto. "I am meeting with Baki in a week to make sure everything is in order." "You will not have trouble sneaking into the village now?" "Now, it shouldn't be a problem," said Kabuto. "Kabuto, there must be a leak supplying information to Konoha." "That is the only explanation for what happened," said Orochimaru, still seething with anger. "If that is the case, then the attack may be compromised," said Kabuto. "That does not matter," said Orochimaru. "They can't stop me." "As you wish, Orochimaru-sama," said Kabuto before he vanished from sight. "Congratulations to all of you who have made it this far," began the Hokage, who then went into a long speech about the exams being held as a substitute for going to war and a lot of other stuff that Naruto yawned through. "However, because we have too many genin for the third exam, we will have a preliminary round right now," said the Hokage. "Allow me to explain," said Hate, stepping over from the front. Naruto could see the blade he made strapped to the man's back. It made Naruto proud to know that his creation had found such a good user. "We will hold preliminary matches until only 8 or 9 genin remain. However, you all have the opportunity to withdraw now and not have it affect your team." A few of the genin who were in really bad shape immediately withdrew and requested medical assistance, which was provided for free. That left 18 genin in the room, 12 of which were from the Leaf Village, and 3 from Sand Village. There was only 1 other genin left from Stone and 2 from Cloud. "Your names will appear randomly on the board. The winner of one-on-one combat will advance to the next and final exam setting," explained the examiner. "First match, Hyuga Niji of Leaf vs Sato Kunia of Cloud," called the examiner from the names that appeared on the board. Naruto could feel the killing intent rolling off of Niji from the balcony where he stood waiting. "I think Niji is still upset with Cloud over his dad," said Naruto to Hinata, who just nodded her agreement. Niji didn't even give the other genin a chance to defend himself. Niji hit him once, stopping his heart and killing him. "Your cousin is scary," said Naruto in shock. "Sometimes," said Hinata with a bit of a shiver. "Don't worry, if you have to face him, we'll find a way for you to beat him," said Naruto, reassuring her. "Thank you, Naruto-kun," said Hinata as she turned to the board to see the next name. Second match, Temari of the Sand vs Tenten of Leaf, called the examiner. "Who do you think will win?" Hinata asked Naruto. "Temari," said Naruto. "That battle fan won't let Tenten's weapons get close to her, and Tenten doesn't know how to do anything else." Naruto was exactly correct. Tenten couldn't even get close enough to hit Temari. Third match, Hyuga Hinata vs Akimichi Choji, called the examiner. "Good luck, Hinata-chan," said Naruto reassuringly. Hinata and Choji faced each other calmly. "Good luck, Hinata," said Choji with a friendly smile. "You too, Choji," said Hinata. "Begin," said the examiner. "Meet Tank," called Choji as he turned into a giant rolling ball steaming right at her. Hinata performed a few quick hand seals for a technique she'd never tried before but hoped would work anyway. With her Byakugan active, she carefully watched Choji's rotation for the time to strike, as she knew she'd only get one chance. "Now," she whispered as she shot forward the spinning ball and struck once with the knife edge of her hand. Choji immediately lost balance and wobbled out of his meat tank, landing on his stomach, but no matter what he tried to move, his body moved something. He moved his left hand and his right knee bent. "Chususasai Biribiri no Jutsu," said Hinata. "Choji, your nervous system is completely disoriented. I confused the signal going through your body. It will wear off in a few hours. Surrender or I will have to knock you out." I give up, said Choji. The medics came in and carted Choji off, but before they did, one compliment her on a perfectly executed attack. Hinata wanted to smirk at Niji when she saw the look of rage on his face. She knew it wasn't because she was better than him. It was because she was learning more than what the Hyuga family generally permitted. Way to go, Hinata-chan, shouted Naruto, that was so cool. You have to teach me that. Nope, said Hinata smugly, it's my technique. If you want to learn it, you can spend a few months researching everything involved. Naruto pouted, fine, be that way. Hinata just laughed. Naruto was always cute when he pouted like that, but she'd been slowly building up a resistance to it over the last few months. Hinata, where did you learn that? Gushed excitedly Ino. I could use that on him to help him with his diet. It's in the hospital library, good luck finding it. It was one of Tsunadeheim's most secret techniques, boasted Hinata. She needs to spend less time with you, Naruto, yelled Ino at the poor boy. What did I do? He asked dumbly. Fourth match, Yamanaka Ino vs Haruno Sakura, called the judge. Talk about to perfectly even shinobi, said Naruto. I'm betting on Tai. So troublesome. If Ino wins, she'll never shut up about it. If Sakura wins, Ino will never stop complaining about it. I hope you're right, or life would become far too troublesome, whined Shikamaru. As predicted, it was a tie, and more than that, it was a double knockout. Thank Kami for the little things, said Shikamaru. Fifth match, Nara Shikamaru vs Kureyuki, called the judge. Screw Kami for the little things, complained Shikamaru as he walked down the stairs and out onto the arena floor. Can I get a redraw? No, Begin said Hate. But a man is not supposed to hit a girl, argued Shikamaru. In my home, when a girl hits you, sure as hell better hit her back, said Hate. Just then Shikamaru smirked. Cage main no jutsu successful. There was a thin black line connect Shikamaru to the girl. You know, there is a reason I wear my weapon pouch on the opposite leg as most shinobi, he began, and then reached into his pouch and removed a kunai while the girl was just grabbing at air. If I throw this while holding you in place, it will kill you, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Now surrender or I'll be forced to kill you. I give, Yuki said defeated. I thought so, said Shikamaru as he released the jutsu and walked lazily back to his friends. You really are the laziest bastard alive, aren't you? Asked Naruto. Pretty much, said Shikamaru, who then yawned grandly. Sixth match, Gaara of the Sand vs Inuzuka Kiba, called Hate. Alright Akamaru, let's go, said Kiba as he jumped over the side with his faithful dog. Begin, said the judge. No sooner had he said it than a giant hand of sand punched Kiba hard enough to send him into the wall and knock him unconscious. The judge simply raised an impressed eyebrow. Is he still alive? Asked the Hokage of the judge. Hate couched and checked the body. Yes, just unconscious, maybe a dislocated shoulder, but nothing permanent or serious. The Hokage nodded. Winner, Gaara of the Sand. Gaara bowed respectfully before vanished from the floor. Seventh match, Rock Lee vs Aburaim Shino, said Hate. Yes, shouted Lee as he flipped off the balcony excitedly. I will show you that the power of youth can prevail. Shino calmly and slowly walked down to the floor. You can't use chakra? No, I cannot. I will prove my nindo using my feet and my fist. I am a taijutsu only shinobi, explained Lee. Shino actually quirked an eyebrow. I forfeit. I have no way to fight against him. What? Screamed Naruto. Shino's bugs eat chakra. Shino fights a battle of attrition, slowly draining his opponents of chakra. Against someone like Lee who uses almost no chakra at all, he cannot hope to win, explained Kurenai. Bummer, said Naruto, and Shino's really good too. Sometimes these things happen. You will almost never see a ninja that does not use or need chakra like Lee, explained Kurenai. That is Shino's greatest weakness, though I think now he will take his training a bit more seriously and stop relying on his bugs so much. Lee must be devastated, said Hinata. He was so much looking forward to proving his nindo. He'll just have to wait until the finals, said Naruto with a grin. Why are you smiling? Asked Hinata. There are only 2 fights left, said Naruto, and one is my fight. Eighth match, Uzumaki Naruto vs Kankuro of the Sand. Oh, good luck, said Hinata. Then she plucked up the courage and gave him a small peck on the cheek right as Naruto was about to jump over the side. Instead, he tripped over the railing and landed on his back. Hinata, what did you do that for? Yelled Ino and Sakura together. You're supposed to wait until after the match to kiss him, said Sakura. Yeah, now he's going to be distracted, said Ino. And he's probably injured, said Shikamaru lazily. That one seemed the most troublesome problem. On the arena floor, Naruto was in a daze. Was he hurt from the fall? Not at all. Did Hinata really just kiss him? Yes. Did he have the first clue why? No. Is he alive? Kankuro asked the judge. Get up, Uzumaki, said Hate. You can worry about your personal life later. Naruto got up as ordered but wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on. He obviously missed the order to start fighting. He didn't really notice when the freaky puppet had wrapped him up and began squeezing him in the hopes of crushing him, only for the strings to snap and the puppet break. He didn't even notice when he got a ton of poison sprayed in his face, nor did he really care. It didn't even register that Kyuubi's chakra flowing through him to keep him alive while the furball yelled at him. His mind was still back on the fact that Hinata had kissed him. Him of all the people she could have chosen to kiss that were better looking, smarter, funnier, wealthier, and more popular, she chose to kiss him. Finally, Kankuro just collapsed of chakra exhaustion and passed out after trying everything he could think of to kill Naruto. He stabbed him several times only to pull out the blade and see the wound closed up just as fast as the blade came out. It didn't even matter if he twisted the blade. The look on Kankuro's face as he tried everything he could think of was priceless. It was even funnier when Kankuro kicked him in the groin only to feel like he'd kicked a solid rock and limped away after. Unknown to him, Kyubi said, "We need that, you bastard." To the majority of the Jounin and Chunin present, that knew about the Kyubi vessel, had a difficult time holding in their laughter. "I must say, that is a very unique way to defeat an opponent," commented the Hokage to Anko, who was now rolling on the floor laughing her hardest though no sound was heard as she used a silencing jutsu on herself beforehand. On the balcony, most of the genin were horrified as they watched all of this happen to Naruto. They couldn't understand for the life of them why most of their Jounin instructors were laughing their asses off. Poor Hinata was mortified. She didn't think that little kiss on the cheek would cause Naruto to lose focus that badly. "Was that some kind of new Bunshin jutsu?" asked Chunin to his instructor. "I have no idea, but if it is, no village would ever approach Konoha again," said the instructor. Gaara maintained his usual cold and calm exterior, but inside his head was wonder how he could have befriended such an absolute idiot. "Winner, Uzumaki Naruto," said the judge after he determined that Kankuro had completely depleted his chakra, but still Naruto just stood there. "Naruto, go back to the balcony with the other genin." Then without a word or even blinking he just turned and walked up the stairs still in his complete daze. "What the hell is he?" Temari asked Gaara. "An idiot," said Gaara coldly, and he meant it too. He would never understand how people could get so silly over a girl. Final match, Tombakatsu of Stone vs Uchiha Sasuke of Leaf, called Hate, though not many were paying attention to him except the contestants. Begin. Sasuke activated his Sharingan eyes right away and quickly attacked the Tsuchinin. Sasuke was pretty fast and wiry, whereas the Tsuchinin was bulky and rather slow. The fight didn't last long, and naturally Sasuke came out on top of that fight. Meanwhile, Hinata was hugging Naruto fiercely and crying her eyes out for distracting him so much. But then she began to check him over for injury but found nothing, just cuts and holes in his clothing, a pink skin where long cuts and gashes should have been. Unknown to her, Kyubi was huffing and puffing from exhaustion at having to heal so much damage between yelling at his idiot vessel. Finally Shikamaru got tired of it and walked up to Naruto and slapped him hard in the face, snapping him out of. "What did you do that for?" demanded Naruto before he noticed his surrounding. "Huh? What happened?" "Figures," said Shikamaru. "He doesn't even remember." "What? What happened?" he asked again. Then he noticed the tears in Hinata's eyes. "What happened, Hinata-chan? Are you okay? Did someone hurt you? Just tell me who did it, and I'll make them pay, I swear." Hinata then did something that sent him right back into his dazed state. She pulled him down into a fiercely passionate kiss that he would never forget if he could remember it happening in the first place. "Break. Okay, so tell me I'm not the only one that just saw what happened with Naruto in there," said Sakura, having called a meeting of all the rookies except for Naruto and Hinata. "I'm pretty sure we all saw it," said Shikamaru. "What I want to know is why the Jounin and the Hokage were laughing about it and not interfering to save his life." "Obviously he didn't need to be saved," said Sasuke. "Why are we wasting time discussing this? I should be training." "Shut up, Uchiha bastard," said Shino coolly. "Does Naruto have a blood limit we don't know about? I've heard that there are some blood limits that will let you heal from almost anything." "I've even heard of a blood limit that makes your body like liquid," said Ino. "He could have something like that." "I doubt it," said Sasuke. "I heard him once say that he has a second source of chakra." "But that's impossible," said Sakura. "The human body only produces one kind of chakra." "But we've all seen him use a second chakra," said Shikamaru. "Though it was barely visible, he used it in that match. Every time he was injured, that chakra healed him almost instantly. It could very well be a blood limit that is emerging for the first time ever. He was an orphan from the Kyubi attack. His parents could have very well been test shinobi trying to breed to create a new blood limit. That hasn't been legal in shinobi villages since the creation of the Aburame clan," said Shino. "The only new blood limits now come from random mutation." "Has anyone considered just asking him?" asked a new voice. When they all looked to the source, they found Kakashi glaring at them. "Come on, Sasuke, you have training to do for the final match if you're hoping to beat Lee." Sasuke nodded and followed his sensei out. With them gone, the others felt ashamed. The idea of asking Naruto hadn't even crossed their minds. "He's right, we should just find him and ask him," said Shikamaru. "If he doesn't trust us by now, he never will." "Shikamaru is strangely right," said Ino. "So let's split up and find him," said Sakura. Break. Naruto still felt as if he was caught in a dream. A dream that had Hinata-chan kissing him. Not once but twice. The last being very passionate and on the lips. Then a swift slap across the face woke him from his dream. Naruto was very confused. He was in his apartment, when he could have sworn he was just in the arena in the center of the forest of death. "How'd we get here?" asked Naruto, highly confused. "You seem to be having problems focusing when I kiss you," said Hinata with a blush. "You kissed me?" he asked. "Funny, I was just dreaming about that, and oh my Kami, that wasn't a dream." Hinata giggled at Naruto's antics as per usual. Somehow Naruto could always make her laugh no matter how serious things were. "I'm sorry if it distracted you too badly. In fact, I am really very, very sorry it distracted you during your match." "Oh no, my match, what happened? Was I disqualified?" Did I even fight? Hinata could believe that he couldn't remember. You don't remember any of it? No, what happened? Hinata then retold the whole story, trying not to cry again. Holy shit, said Naruto. I can't believe I was that distracted. Why couldn't Kankuro have just slapped me? Naruto-kun, how was that possible? You should be dead. But I'm not, see, said Naruto, smiling, hoping to avoid the subject entirely. Naruto-kun, she pouted. Tell me. I don't want to, said Naruto, pouting just as much. But then Hinata's eyes started to tear up. I thought we were friends. But I guess I was wrong. We are friends and I want to stay friends, but if I tell you this you'll hate me just like the rest of the village does, said Naruto, trying not break down. Naruto-kun, I could never hate you. You mean the world to me. Without your friendship and caring for me I would have been lost. You can tell me anything, I swear. Fine, said Naruto, resigning himself that he would forever lose the first person his age that ever really meant something to him. I am a human sacrifice that was used to imprison Kyuubi no Kitsune no Yukai. You can run away screaming now, I won't mind. What are you talking about? Asked Hinata, clearly confused. The academy, we were always told that Kyuubi was defeated by the Yondaime Hokage, right? Hinata nodded. That true, but just because something was defeated doesn't mean it was killed. The truth was simply that Yondaime Hokage wasn't strong enough to kill the demon. No human would be. So he did the next best thing. He sealed it away so that it could never hurt another person again. He couldn't risk sealing it in an inanimate object for the risk of it escaping or being set free. So he sealed it in a living prison, a baby. I was barely part of this world when Yondaime sacrificed me to seal away the demon. And when I die I will take the demon with me. My mother died in childbirth and my father died fighting the demon imprisoned within me. That's all that the Hokage has told me. He won't even tell me their names. Anyway, I can use the demon as a source of information and chakra when I need it, but it also grants unparalleled healing. That's why nothing Kankuro did was able to hurt me. The reason no one of our generation knows is because of a law made by Sandaime. It was forbidden to ever talk about the demon, or that it was sealed inside of me on penalty of death. So, now you know, and you can hate me just like the rest of the village does. Feel free to tell the other two, they have a right to know now that you do. Naruto stood up, emotionally drained. He really just wanted to curl into a ball and die. In fact, that seemed like a really good idea at the moment. He looked once more at the complete stunned Hinata and walked away from her. He wouldn't let her see him cry. He walked into his bedroom and closed the door. As soon as he heard the door to the apartment open and then closed, he collapsed heavily on his bed and cried as he'd never cried before. Break. Shikamaru had decided to check the most obvious place for Naruto, his apartment. He didn't expect to arrive just as Naruto laid out all the gory details of his life in plain English. He didn't even notice Hinata run past him. He was even more surprised when only moments later he could hear Naruto crying through the paper-thin walls of the apartment building. Shikamaru wasn't quite sure when or how he left the apartment building, but he did. He was found some time later in a complete daze by Ino. Shikamaru, she said to him, but got no response, so she slapped him good. He didn't really snap out of but just stared at her. Finally he spoke. We don't need to know anything about Naruto, and we're going to stop all of our digging. Just forget whatever you saw in that exam and never ever mention it again. But Shikamaru protested. No, Ino, listen to me this time. I don't feel like being executed by the Hokage, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to be either, and neither do any of the others, so we're never going to talk about this again. No digging into Naruto's past and no digging into any of Naruto's current abilities, said Shikamaru. Shikamaru understood that Naruto and the demon were separate, but he knew that most of the others would completely fail to understand that, and would probably only see Kyuubi when they looked at Naruto again. Now everything made sense. Why Naruto avoided going places with them in public. Why he always waited outside of shops while all the other went inside to buy whatever they wanted, including candy, which he knew for a fact that Naruto liked and had money to buy. He now understood why his own parents often bad-mouthed Naruto and talked down on him. Why people would cross the street if they saw him coming. The dirty looks and all the glares he received for as long as he'd known Naruto. Shikamaru, that just doesn't make sense, said Ino. Fine, said Shikamaru angrily. He'd never shown anger towards anyone for anything, but this time was really pissed off. The one time he was deadly serious, she just had to question him about it. If you want to know so badly, then ask him about it directly, but don't say I didn't warn you, and if he does tell you, you'd better not ever say a word about it to anyone or I will have to kill you and whoever you tell. With that, Shikamaru stormed off angrily. Never in all the time Ino knew Shikamaru did he ever react so badly to anything. He never yelled at anyone, and he especially never threatened anyone, least of all her. Whatever he learned must have been unbelievably big news. Unfortunately, Ino just became more curious, and went in search of Sakura to go along with her. Break. Naruto didn't remember falling to sleep that afternoon. But when he woke up he still had that horrible empty feeling in his heart that he'd felt after he told Hinata about his burden. He hoped that she would accept him like some of the adults did, but that apparently wasn't to be the case. Naruto didn't want to get out of bed that day or any day ever again for that matter. He felt miserable and horribly depressed. If Kyuubi wouldn't have been able to heal him right away, he'd almost have considered attempting suicide. Sadly, his only hope would be for another demon to kill him, or for a really powerful shinobi to finish him off. Maybe he could get Orochimaru to do it for him. He liked killing things, right? Naruto just sighed heavily. He knew he wouldn't let that keep him down forever. Nothing ever did, but this one just hurt so much more than any of the other hurts ever cast down upon him. Honestly, who did he think he was kidding? How could the heiress to the Hyuga family ever care for someone like him once she knew the truth of what he was? The answer was that she couldn't, and neither could any other girl. The only thing left to Naruto now was to seek a way to kill off the Akatsuki and Orochimaru, and maybe even Sasuke. It might be a hollow goal, but it was one that Naruto could get behind. At least that way, once he died, he would have been able to say he'd done something good for the world. Kyuubi was yelling at him about feeling self-pity, but he didn't really care, so he tuned the demon out. He just wanted to forget the world for just one day, to forget all the hatred and evil of the world. Couldn't he be granted just that one day of peace? Naruto could feel his eyes tearing up again as another bout of sobbing racked his body. Why did he always have to face such pain and loneliness? Naruto cried for all the pain he'd ever suffered, but mostly he cried for Hinata. He burdened her with terrible knowledge that she should never have known, and now she was expected by law to keep it a secret. He cried for the fact that any time she saw him she would be terrified of him. Kyuubi, do you have a way of just killing us both? Naruto asked inside his mind. Not going to fucking happen, now suck it up and get back to work. We've got shit to do, Kyuubi shot back in reply, which Naruto just ignored. Naruto didn't know how long he laid there. He heard someone knock on the door a few times throughout the day, but he couldn't be bothered to answer it. Besides, who would really want to ever talk to Konoha's dirty little secret? It was probably just a villager come to spit in his face and then defecate on him, or attempt to kill him again. After what must have been days, someone finally entered his home. Apparently they had a key, so it was either Hinata there to try and kill him or break him even more, or it was the Hokage. Hello Naruto-kun, said the old man. Go away, mumbled Naruto in a gravelly voice. He hadn't heard himself speak in several days, and it sounded very strained from all of his sobbing. Naruto, you've been holed up in here for almost 2 weeks. Don't you think you've had enough of a pity party for yourself? Do you know what I did? You told Miss Hinata about your terrible burden, said the Hokage calmly. Yes, I did. Now go away. I just want to die in peace, said Naruto. If you die, who will replace me when I decide to retire again? Asked the Hokage. Oh please, Orochimaru is going to kill you at the Chunin exam finals. Or rather, you're going to kill yourself using the Yandame sealing jutsu on him, which will fail because you'll only seal his arms, and that won't matter for long because he can just take a new body, but not before he seeks out Tsunade Bacon for his only little sadistic reunion in which he will betray her, and then try to kill her. She'll survive, come back here and become the 5th Hokage, and everyone will still hate me and despise me and be completely disgusted with me, and somehow they will all blame me for every last trouble this village has ever suffered. There will be endless attempts by both drunk shinobi and villagers to try and kill me, along with not so drunk shinobi and village trying to kill me, and then you've got that damn Akatsuki out there looking for me so they can get their hands on the Kyuubi for whatever game they've got planned. Basically I'm screwed, but you know what? I don't even care about any of that shit in slightest. I lived through it before. Nothing will ever hurt me as much as the look on her face when I told her about my burden. So please just leave me to die. I don't really deserve to live. I never really did, for that matter. I would have been better for everyone if you just killed me as soon as Kyuubi was sealed inside of me. Why couldn't I have just died along with Yandame, or rather instead of Yandame? The village obviously needs him more than they need me. Naruto couldn't stop the tears that were leaking from his eyes freely now. I was broken once before, and though coming back here and trying again that maybe I could heal, and for a while I was healing, but now I'm just broken all over again. Naruto only briefly glanced at the old man to see that he was crying a bit too. You can leave me now, said Naruto had he pulled his covers over his head and sobbed until his breathing slowed and he went back to sleep. Sarutobi patted Naruto's shoulder before he let himself out. He knew there was nothing he could say or do to break that poor child out of his depression. He knew that depression would probably kill the boy too. Sarutobi walked through town trying with the brim of his hat pulled down low to his face from the citizens. It wouldn't do for them to see their leader crying. Somehow Sarutobi ended up outside the Hyuga estate where he requested to speak with Hayashi. Sarutobi-sama, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? I have just come from Naruto's home, said Sarutobi, trying to brush away a tear that was begging to break free. Oh, is his training going well? Asked Hayashi, fearing he would not like the answer. I have watched that boy for so long. I've seen him stand strong against the unjustified hatred this village has thrown at him every day of his entire life, and not once have I ever seen him break in the slightest. I have seen the boy struggle to get past the hatred of the academy to teachers to earn him a fair chance. He has always tried his hardest. When someone refused to teach him something he knew was important, he'd find someone that would teach him, or he'd find a book and teach himself. He has always given everything he had to try and help the village. One of his secret goals that he's only ever told me is that he wanted to be worthy of Yandame's sacrifice. I've watched him grow over the years into an amazing youth with the potential to actually become Hokage, and through all of his struggles and trials he's never given up or felt broken. And when he finally had a person his own age who he thought would accept him, he told her his greatest secret, the one he feared that no one his own age would never see beyond, and it completely broke him. He has completely given up on even living anymore. Even with Kyuubi's amazing regenerative capabilities, he has simply lost the will to live. Don't expect he'll live to the end of the month. So why tell me this? Asked Hayashi sadly. He feared that he knew the answer once again. Because it was your daughter that completely broke him, said Sarutobi before he stood and left a bewildered Hyuga headman. Hayashi was surprised to say the least. He knew that his daughter and the vessel were teammates. He also knew that the boy helped his daughter really blossom into a caring and intelligent young woman. He knew the boy did things for his daughter that he was never able to do for her, and now he finds out that this boy, who had done so much to help her, was so destroyed because of her. He just didn't know what to think. Hayashi contemplated this for a long time before he finally decided to see his daughter and talk to her about the matter. He knocked politely on the door. Come in, Hinata's voice replied calmly and clearly. Hayashi opened the sliding door and stepped into the room. Hello, father, said Hinata with a kind smile. What are you doing? Just studying an anatomy scroll, father. Understanding the human body will help me in understanding Gentle Fist, said Hinata coolly. Who gave you that idea? Asked Hayashi. My teammate Naruto-kun, said Hinata. Have you seen him lately? Asked Hayashi. No, not for a few weeks. I'm sure he has been busy training for the exam, said Hinata. Hinata, I just finished speaking to the Hokage. He said that Uzumaki-san told you of his terrible burden, said Hayashi. Yes, father, that is true, said Hinata looking a bit saddened. Have you spoken with him since? He asked. No, father, I thought that he needed space, said Hinata. Well, don't worry about that. He'll be dead in a few days, so he'll have all the space he needs then, won't he? Said Hayashi coldly. Hinata was shocked that her father would say such a thing. Father, why? Why would you kill him? I will not lay a finger on him, nor will anyone else in the entire village or even the world, said Hayashi, and even the demon can't save him this time. He's a broken soul. What do you mean? I don't understand, said Hinata nearly in tears. Hinata, you broke that boy completely. After all the hate and anger he suffered from this village, his friendship with you meant more to him than anything else. When he finally tells you his greatest burden and his greatest fear, you simply left him. He is broken now and will probably die taking the demon with him. But worry not, daughter, many in this village will praise your name and have festivals in your honor, for you have done what the law forbade. You have slain their demon. With that, Hayashi stood and left his daughter to consider his words. He knew that he was probably overly harsh, but for someone who at all other times could see when people hurt, had completely failed the person that he knew she loved more than anyone in the world, himself included. Hayashi was hardly down the hall when he heard his daughter's footsteps running down the hall and out of the estate. Perhaps there was hope for her yet. Naruto just couldn't die. It wouldn't be fair to her. After everything he had done for her, all the wonderful things he taught and helped her to learn, she had made the biggest mistake. The truth was that when she found out about the Kyuubi, she was terrified that it was the Kyuubi and that maybe the Kyuubi was setting her up for something terrible. She needed time to sort through her feelings and figure out everything. She never thought for an instant that it would hurt Naruto so much. She never believed that anything could have ever broken Naruto's spirit. But the more she thought about it, the more she realized how foolish she was. Naruto was already afraid that she'd reject him. Naruto was already prepared that she might do exactly as she'd done. But that still didn't make her actions right. She should have known how much her acceptance or rejection would have hurt Naruto. She should have known that this would have affected Naruto as much as it affected her. Naruto had always been hated by the village for something he couldn't control and had no say in. Naruto never hurt anyone in the village. He always gave everything he had to this village. He went out of his way to make sure everyone around him was comfortable. She had always watched him even when they were younger. He always struggled despite the cold looks and cruel words of the village. That's why she thought he'd never break, even if she needed time to figure things out. And now he had given up hope. She was supposed to be his friend. She was supposed to love him. And yet she had failed him worse than anyone had ever failed him in his entire life. She ran through the streets frantic to arrive before it was too late. It just couldn't be too late, or she too would have given up on living. After all the times he'd protected her and saved her from her own self-doubt, it was her turn to save him. She fumbled with the key to his apartment, trying to unlock the door. When she entered, the first thing that hit her was the awful stench of decay and feces. She hurried to the bedroom and saw his form curled up under the bed sheets, shivering slightly. He was still alive. It only brought a glimmer of hope to her. Looking at the state of things, she could tell he'd not left the bed for anything since he told her. She sank to her knees next to the bed. Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry. Then she cried uncontrollably. Break. Naruto was barely waking once again. It didn't bother him. He would sleep again soon, and maybe this time he wouldn't wake up. However, this time was slightly different. He could hear someone crying from beside his bed. Now he knew he was hallucinating. No one but the Hokage would ever cry for him, and this was a girl sobbing. In his delirium he had hoped that it was Hinata, but he knew that was unlikely. She was terrified of him, and would be happy when she hears of his death. Not wanting to fight his delirium but enjoy this short moment of happiness, he rolled to face the crying girl. Oh, if only this could be real, he said hoarsely. Hinata looked up at him. Naruto-kun, forgive me. I didn't know how to react. I could never be mad at you, Hinata, replied Naruto to the illusion. You reacted the way you should have. I'm just some human sacrifice not worthy of love or affection. But you are, Hinata protested. You deserve love more than anyone in this village. You have suffered so much and always been so strong, but when for the first time you truly needed someone, I abandoned you. It is I that doesn't deserve affection or love. Yes, you do, said Naruto with as much strength as he could muster. You deserve everything good in the world and then some. You deserve better than me. But don't worry, soon I'll have passed from this world and you will be truly happy. No, I can't be happy, not without you, protested Hinata. You've got to stay with me, Naruto-kun, or I will give up just as you have. Ah, but then you are only a dream, said Naruto, closing his eyes once more. He woke up again some time later after being doused with freezing cold water, which woke him again. He was in his bathroom in the tub. He could see the old man Hokage in the room. Time to get you cleaned up, Naruto-kun, said the Hokage. Just let me die, said Naruto. I'm not worth any of your time or trouble. You are of the leaf, said the Hokage strongly. You are a shinobi of the leaf, and as Hokage I am responsible for all of us. I'm not worth it, Naruto repeated. Please fight, Naruto-kun, came a strained voice from outside the bathroom. My dreams haunt me still. Please just let me die, said Naruto once more. She is not a dream, Naruto, said the Hokage. She needs you to stay in this world. Fight for her now, boy. Why do you lie to me so? Asked Naruto, letting himself sink under water only for Sarutobi to pull him back up again and start scrubbing him clean. Naruto woke again some time later back in his room. Everything smelled better, suggesting that the old man changed his sheets and washed him clean, not that it would matter once he was dead. It was then he noticed a needle and tube stuck in his arm. If you won't feed yourself, then you'll be fed intravenously, said the Hokage, who Naruto now noticed was sitting in a chair next to his bed. I imagine that now that you're receiving food, the Kyuubi is able to repair your body and muscles. Don't worry, Naruto, you'll be up and around in time for the final exam. What's the point? Said Naruto. They will all still hate me. The ignorant villagers may still hate you, Naruto, but there is at least one person who still cares very deeply for you, said the Hokage, glancing over to the other side of the bed. Hinata-chan, he said in a whisper, not daring to believe. Why are you here? Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry. I just didn't know how to react to what you told me, she said, not daring to meet his eyes. I ran away and hurt you so much. I never meant to hurt you, Naruto-kun. I thought you'd be strong enough to give me the time to understand this. I didn't think it would break you so. I didn't know that I meant that much to you. Forgive me, Naruto-kun. I'm so sorry. You don't have to be sorry, Hinata-chan. I don't deserve a friend like you. I'm sorry for scaring you. I'm sorry for hiding what I really am for so long from you. You were my friend and I liked having such a good friend. I thought you'd understand, but I was wrong. You are too good for me. You deserve so much better. I'm sorry, said Naruto, trying to stop the unstoppable tears that were running down his face. Hinata couldn't believe that Naruto thought so poorly of himself, and so highly of her. She did the only thing she could think of at that moment, and hugged him tightly, crying with him. Please don't give up, Naruto-kun, Hinata pleaded. It's you who deserves better than me. I'm not strong like you. I could never survive everything you've suffered through. I don't want to lose you, Hinata-chan, said Naruto, his voice muffled by Hinata's hug. You'll never lose me, Naruto-kun. I will always be here for you from now on, no matter what, said Hinata with a small smile and more tears. I hate to break this up, said the Hokage, smiling fondly at the pair, but both of you have matches coming up in 2 weeks' times. Naruto, I suggest you eat and concentrate on using Kyuubi to repair your body and then get to training. Oh, and you just might find someone interesting near the hot springs. Hinata was confused by the last statement but ignored it. Naruto-kun, do you want some ramen? I'll make it for you. Naruto smiled brightly at Hinata and nodded vigorously. I'm going to need my strength to beat Gaara in the finals. Hinata smiled. Now that was the old Naruto. Some days later, Naruto had been fed and managed to fully recover. He was admittedly a bit stiff from not doing anything for a week and a half. It was truly amazing what acceptance from one important person could do. Now to find that pervert, said Naruto with a wide grin, stepping out of his apartment and enjoying the fresh air and bright sun. Naruto started looking through the hot spring district, trying to spot the super pervert. Finally he heard the familiar giggle of his old sensei. Naruto walked up behind him silently before asking, collecting good information, Ero Sennin? Truly the beauties in Konoha are some of the finest anywhere, said the pervert, and my name is Jiraiya, you brat. The pervert didn't even turn to look at him. Are you Naruto? Yeah, the old man said that I could find you here, said Naruto. You're almost 2 weeks late, said the pervert. I was expecting you sooner. I was working through a personal issue, said Naruto, trying to keep the shame out of his voice. Whatever, I don't care. You're the one missing out on being trained by me, said Jiraiya, still not looking at him but taking notes and peeping at the same time. I realize, said Naruto, starting to get annoyed. And you're not even my apprentice, so why should I care? Asked Jiraiya. Because someday I'm going to become Hokage, said Naruto, and when I do, I will outlaw peeping in the village and make it punishable by death unless your attitude changes drastically, and you start paying attention to me. At that, Jiraiya actually looked at the boy. You're too short to become Hokage. Naruto's eye twitched at that. If he wasn't worried about the consequences, he would have Ransenganned his ass from here to the moon. I'm just a late bloomer. Whatever, brat, said Jiraiya, turning back to his peeping. Naruto twitched an eyebrow again. He then put his hands into the tiger seal and compressed a bit of chakra to his fingers, Konoha's ultimate taijutsu, Itami no Senin. He then stuck his fingers in the pervert but crack and released the gathered chakra, causing a small explosion and sending the pervert through the wall of the hot spring. Call me short again, I dare you! Not only did the pervert just get poked in the ass and humiliated, but he then got the crap beat out of him by all the women in the hot spring. Once he was unconscious, Naruto dragged him out of the hot spring and to the training field where he tied him to a post. Jiraiya woke up a bit later to see Naruto slowly burning pages from a notebook. What you doing?" demanded the pervert. "Those are my precious, invaluable notes, you little brat. You called me short, now take it back and I'll stop burning pages," said Naruto vindicatively. Fine, I take it back, you're not short," shouted Jiraiya, struggling against his bonds. "That's more like it," said Naruto, stopping his action. "You just vertically challenged," said Jiraiya. Naruto turned back to the fire and kept adding pages. "No!" shouted the pervert, almost in tears. "I'm sorry, I take it back, your height is perfect the way it is." "Much better," said Naruto as the notebook in his hand went poof. "Don't you just love the versatility of the Kage Bunshin?" "Huh?" asked the pervert, confused. "I'm not stupid enough to burn your notebook. I know that you've encoded all of your spying information into your perverted notes," said Naruto coolly. "Now, are you ready to get serious and train me for the exam finals?" Jiraiya smirked. "You're not so stupid after all." Naruto threw a kunai at him, which missed him but cut the ropes that were holding him. "So, what can I teach you?" asked Jiraiya. "Summoning," said Naruto calmly. Jiraiya smirked. Well, how do you know I can summon?" "You're also known as the Gamma Sennin," said Naruto calmly. Jiraiya laughed. "I guess I'm still famous among youth." "Not really, Tsunadeheim and Orochimaru are more well known. On the other hand, there is not a male in the village that has hit puberty that has not heard of your works," said Naruto, scratching his chin. "I suppose you're more well known, but Tsunade is more respected and Orochimaru is more feared." Jiraiya laughed again. "Alright kid, I like your style." Jiraiya made a few hand seals, Kuchios no Jutsu, and slammed his hand on the ground, summoning a mid-sized toad with a scroll in its mouth. Naruto signed the scroll in blood and gave it back to the toad in question. "Good, now I want you to drain all of your chakra," said Jiraiya. "Why?" asked Naruto. "Most shinobi only have one source of chakra, but you are special. You have two sources and must be able to call upon that second chakra in an instant," said Jiraiya, trying to be deceptive and not mention Kyuubi. "You mean Kyuubi's chakra," said Naruto. "I can already call on that whenever I need it." "Oh really?" asked Jiraiya. "Well then let's see it." It didn't even take a moment for the clearing to be filled with the evil red chakra. Naruto bit his thumb and performed a few quick hand seals, Kuchios no Jutsu. Naruto suddenly found himself several feet in the air on the back of a giant toad known as Gamabunta. "Holy shit, he did it," said Jiraiya in awe. "Jiraiya," yelled the toad, "what's the meaning of calling me out?" Well, I didn't call you out." "He did," said Jiraiya, pointing to the top of the toad's head. "Hello boss," said Naruto with a grin at the boss toad now that he was looking the old toad in the eyes. This little kid," said Gamabunta. "How the hell could you summon me?" "I used Kyuubi's chakra to summon you," said Naruto. "He's pissed too, let me tell you. Apparently he's got some kind of grudge against you from back when you helped Yondaime Hokage seal him inside of me." Gamabunta laughed heartily at that. "Kid, tell that fox too bad and to kiss my poisonous butt." Naruto laughed heartily along with Gamabunta. "He's really pissed now boss." "Good, anyway, I like you kid," said Gamabunta. "You seem respectful unlike some people." The boss toad then glared at Jiraiya. "So, will you accept me as a subordinate then boss?" asked Naruto excitedly. "Sure kid, why not? But first we gotta have a drink together," said Gamabunta. "But boss, I'm not old enough to drink and besides, Kyuubi would love nothing more than to watch me make an ass of myself if I got drunk," said Naruto. Gamabunta laughed at that. "Well then I guess I'll take a rain check on the drink. But you had better summon me on the day you are old enough to drink and we'll toss back a few." "You got it boss," said Naruto with a smile. "Well, if you're ever in a tight spot and need some help just call on me," said Gamabunta. "I'm gonna go now, so hop off." Naruto jumped off the boss toad. "See you boss." Gamabunta then vanished in a large puff of smoke. "He liked you," said Jiraiya in disbelief, "but he's never liked anyone but Arashi-san." "Maybe he just doesn't like perverts," said Naruto smartly. "Who is Arashi-san anyway?" "Erasure was the Yondaime's name. He was my student," said Jiraiya. "He's a lot like you actually." "Really?" asked Naruto. "He's my hero, you know. I want to be just like him when I get older." "If you train hard enough and long enough you just might make it," said Jiraiya with a smile. "So what's next?" "What will you teach me now?" asked Naruto. "You want me to teach you more?" asked Jiraiya. "Of course Erosenin," said Naruto. "It's not every day I get the chance to learn from a Sannin." Jiraiya laughed. "Alright brat, let's see if you can handle this." Jiraiya made a long group of seals and then puffed out his chest after taking a deep breath. Gamma Yunden no Jutsu. He then shot out a stream of fire almost 50 meters long. "Wow!" shouted Naruto. "That was awesome, you've got to teach me that. That is a special technique for you to use with Gamabunta. If you're ever in a fight against a large number of enemies or another summon, it is excellent. You've just got to remember to ask the boss for some oil before you use it." "The fire damage is supreme," said Jiraiya. He had a face like a little kid as he envisioned the destruction such a technique would cause. "Sweet," said Naruto. "I think I've heard about that technique. Show me the seals again, would you?" Naruto and Jiraiya spent the rest of that day and the next 3 days working on that technique. Naruto and Hinata also spent a lot of time training with their usual workout from Guy, and in Hinata's case from Kakashi. On the 5th day of training with Jiraiya, Naruto decided to bring Hinata along to get a few helpful hints. "Oh, who is this Naruto?" asked Jiraiya. "Is she available?" Naruto had to stop himself from using Rasengan on the man once again. "No, she's not available." "Oh, so she's yours then?" asked Jiraiya with a waggle of his eyebrows. "As far as you're concerned, yes," said Naruto hotly. "And so help me if you take one perverted note on her, I'll kill you." Hinata blushed when Naruto claimed her as his, but then the wording wasn't exactly saying that. "So why did you bring her?" "I only promised Sarutobi-sensei that I would help you out," said Jiraiya. "You'll help because I have the ultimate technique to show you," said Naruto. "What could you possibly show me that I haven't already seen?" asked Jiraiya. "Sexy no jutsu," said Naruto, slyly causing Hinata to blush. It was by far one of his most effective jutsu against men, and if Jiraiya was as big a pervert as Naruto had been telling her, he would absolutely love that technique. "Okay, I'm intrigued," said Jiraiya. "So Hyuga, who are fighting in the finals?" "I'm fighting my cousin Neji. He is from the branch family, but he is also the most talented Hyuga to be born in over 100 years, said Hinata, unable to hide the fear in her voice. "You're a Hyuga, why not fight him using gentle fist?" asked Jiraiya. "He's better than me. Besides, I'm better at other things," said Hinata. "She's going to be an amazing medic nin someday," shouted Naruto excitedly. "Better than Tsunade even." Hinata blushed at Naruto's compliments and over-enthusiasm. Said Jiraiya as an idea began to form. "Do you know how to use chakra scalpels?" Hinata shook her head. "No, I haven't studied surgical jutsu yet." "Well, go get a scroll from the hospital library on it after we finish today," said Jiraiya. "If you can't hit his tenketsu, he won't be expecting you to cut ligaments and muscles." Hinata gasped. "But that's so dangerous." Jiraiya nodded. "It is. But with your Byakugan you should be able to cut the ligaments cleanly so that a medic nin can heal them easily." "Could that really work?" asked Hinata. Jiraiya nodded. "He can't use the gentle fist if he can't use his hands. You just need to block him a few times with the chakra scalpels and he will be unable to hurt you." "What about the Kaiten?" asked Naruto. "He can use Kaiten?" asked Jiraiya. "How old is he?" "He's a year older than us," said Naruto. "I'm impressed," said Jiraiya appreciatively. "Well then, you'll just have to expose the Byakugan's greatest weakness." "What's that?" asked Naruto curiously. "It can't see underground," said Jiraiya. "So how would she attack from underground?" asked Naruto. "Doton, Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu," said Jiraiya. "It allows you to move under the ground freely." "Really?" asked Naruto. "I want to learn that too then." "Fine, then that will be today's technique," said Jiraiya with a nod. And so the last week before the tournament went. Naruto and Hinata were constantly training